closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash poker. My name is Bart Hansen, and I'm joined tonight by the poker babe, Shirley Rosario, and we are going to be doing a restricted buy-in game, a $200 maximum buy-in game. The blinds for this game are 3 and 5. And without further ado, let's get to the game and introduce the players. So in seat number 1, we've got Jake Wong, sporting the white shirt and tie. Seat 2 is Odney Tobacco. Seat number 3, we've got Paul Sharp. There we go. Paul, sporting the Bicycle Casino hat. Seat 4, Miguel Martinez. Seat number 5 is Peter Greystoke. Seat number 6 there, he's Alex Liu. Seat 7 is Moses Lopez. Seat number 8 is Ken Hollowell. And rounding out the table in seat 9, we've got Ratana Wanora. There you go. That's a nice name. Ratana Wanora in seat number 9. Now in this game, the yellow chips are $5 chips. The blue chips are $1 chips, and if we see purples, they are $25 chips. And if we're lucky enough to see white chips, Shirley, they're $100 chips. And
this game's been going on for a while, so
it has been. Yes.
Players
so
do
players
have more than $200 there.
Players are deep.
And I wanted to give a shout out to Pauline in New York. That is seat 2's mom.
Oh. New York State, New York City.
He said Pauline in New York.
Yeah. Of course, if you want to follow a live thread started every night on the internet, you can go to 2plus2.com, spelled out. Click on forums, click on World Poker Tour and other televised tournaments. The Live at the Bike official thread for September 20th. You can also email us at liveatthebike.com, and we will respond. Questions, comments, suggestions makes the show more fun to be interactive. We are on a 5-minute delay to protect the integrity of the game. We don't allow electronic equipment on the table, such as cell phones, iPods, etc. And we got the hole cards. First and only cash game with hole cards. Now we're doing a $200 game tonight again, restricted buy-in game. We've been doing a lot of high-limit games lately, but I want to say, Shirley, that this is probably the game that the viewers at home are most familiar with playing, because you need to have a large amount of money to start playing in no-limit games above this.
In the other ones, right?
Yeah. And tomorrow night is going to be our whale game, sponsored by Poker Blue. It's going to be 5,100 no-limit again. And Yosh told me, I had a conversation with him, $5,000 for the first 2 buy-ins, $10,000 for the third buy-in, and $20,000 for the fourth buy-in.
Wow.
So we're going to see a lot of money at that table. Now we've got a raise here to start the show. Looks like Ken there in seat 8 has got ace-jack. He smooth called seat 7. Moses brought it in with pocket deuces. And Paul's going to come in with a suited connector from the small blind. 35, it looks like. And actually, you know, it was a bet and a raise there. So it was a bet by Moses and a raise by Ken with ace-jack. And Ken has flopped top pair here. Ace, queen, 8, couple of spades. And he's going to bet.
No, really. This pharmaceutical Viagra.
The pot was about $105. He's bet $60 here with top pair. Shirley, this is a game that you play a lot here at the bike. Are you familiar with some of the players?
A couple of them, not that many. I think 2 of the players there.
Pretty difficult for pocket deuces to call there, and ace-jack is going to take it down.
What do you want to do?
So did you see any action players here on the game?
Well, the two that I know, one of them is Ken there in seat 8, and he's a pretty solid player.
Yeah.
So the two that I'm familiar with, no, they're not a lot of action. They're actually pretty good players.
You know, it's funny, Shirley. Right before you started the show tonight, you were peeking your head watching the end of one of the World Series of Poker episodes where Mark Safe won the bracelet. And look at this. We already have a post here from Russ McGinley said that he saw you in the Mark Safe camp at the end of the show just now. So there you go. Did you see yourself, or did you have to pop in here?
I didn't see myself, but I had to come in here. So
yeah.
I figured I would be on there.
Mark
probably
Safe, of course, took down 2 bracelets.
Yes, he won 2 bracelets this year. He was one of my closest friends.
Both in no limit events?
No, the first was limit hold'em shootout, and the second was a no limit.
Oh, okay. All right. So looks like seat 1 here has limped, and Odney in seat 2, he's going to raise. He's making it 35. Can't quite see his cards here. Made it 35 to go. Wow, he's got deuce 8 offsuit.
Wow.
There you go, Shirley.
There's our action play.
Yep. And he's going to take it down.
No, it's even better. Than
Respect. Yeah. It's called respect, baby. That's how, just so you guys know, that's how Tony Soprano plays cards, all right?
Again, Yosh wanted me to make it, he was trying to explain to me again this afternoon that the whale game is a combination of whales and pros, and he likes to try to, keep it leaning towards the whales versus the pros. And of course, a whale is
someone with a lot of money.
Someone with a lot of money that likes to gamble and who's action. He doesn't want to necessarily bring a Johnny Chan into that game and just kill the game.
Right.
So there's going to be a good mix of that. A lot of money and a lot of action. And I think it makes for good entertainment, obviously.
We have a big hand here for seat 5, Peter.
Yep, pocket aces. He's in the small blind. But seat 9 brought this one in. Ratana for $50. Wow, that's a big raise in a 200 game. He's got ace 10 of diamonds.
Oh, he doesn't really want to play the hand, I would imagine.
Oh, you're kidding.
And the action is on Odney, and he's going to call with Queen Jack suited. Let's see if Paul comes in. He's got the same hand, but with spades. So you got to think that Peter's probably going to put in a big re-raise here. There's $150 of dead money in here in a 200 game. Might be enough to just move all in here. Looks like he's got about $1,000. Yeah. Maybe 7 whites and 3 stacks of yellow.
Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't think he would move in, but a good, nice raise. I mean, he doesn't want to get everybody out of the pot. That's a nice raise.
Well, he's going to raise it.
He makes it 200.
No, well, let's... 300. 300. He's raised to 300.
Okay, that's a little more than I would have made it, but... I like to play aces against one player, but there's nothing wrong with picking up $150 neither, which is probably what he's going to do here.
Action's over to Odney there with Queen Jack of clubs. And, boy, this would be a tough call with these hands for an additional $250.
Yes.
If I give you $1 extra, will you show?
So you prefer?
Oh, he's jockeying.
You want to show?
This guy's on the short stack here. Paul, he's already invested 50. Looks like he's got about 125 left, but he's going to mug.
Nice, man.
He shows his hand there.
He shows the aces.
Right. Why
well,
not take it, right?
We always say that usually the proper strategy to play in this game is pretty much ABC in the beginning of the game, but if this game's been going on for a while and the players are deep compared to the blind size, then there's some room for maneuvering. Mix it up a little bit.
As we all know, pigs get fat.
Oh, and it's interesting.
That was very
I
good, sir.
obviously have TiVoing the World Series of Poker,
Mm-hmm.
but CW Siggy here says that it's a 7-card stud event now on ESPN. And David and I were talking about how unhappy we were with the stud coverage last year. The graphics, the way that they basically, instead of having the 2 down cards and the door cards and in the 7th card down, they lined it up with your high hand. Basically, you've got your pair,
best 5 cards
and then you've got
left.
the cards shaded, which are the ones that are underneath, and it was just so confusing. So someone can fill me in and see if they've changed that.
I don't think they have. Last one I saw.
Have they already done a stud event
I think
this
they
year?
did one stud.
Yeah? I didn't see it. I must have missed that one.
He did.
I know they've done the
think.
Omaha, Pot Limit Omaha High, but I
Yeah.
don't know if they've done a stud event yet.
I was with him that
Maybe
night.
not. Maybe I was watching a rerun.
But it was really confusing last year.
And you know what, bro? I have to tell you something. To his credit, he did play him pretty strong.
Got a raise there by pocket
especially
eights.
after he got snapped off a couple of times, you know?
And he's out of the blind. He makes a raise, and he's going to take it down. Well, of course, we'd always love, Shirley and I would love to see some high-low tournament games televised, but no one's really done it yet, right?
No.
I guess they think that the common audience is just it would just be too difficult for them.
Mm-hmm.
That may be the case. I mean, that's one of the interesting things here at Live at the Bike. We tend to have a little bit more of a niche audience than some of the other poker broadcasts out there because we do stream, 15 hours a week, 5 days a week. I don't know if your casual poker fan would enjoy watching Omaha High-Low on ESPN if they just know Hold'em. But that's a decision that they've made.
I would enjoy it.
Oh, so
I know you would enjoy it.
Yeah. Seat 2 is raised here, and boy, he is action. He's made it 30 to go. He's got deuce 6 of hearts. That's Odney. And Miguel is going to call here with ace queen off suit.
And that's it. And then the rest, that's it, right?
And Moses is in there. King Jack. Ken's got ace 10. Really tough to play. Out of position. And he's going to make the call. And I guess it's 30 total, not 35.
I'm surprised by that call.
And look at Ratana.
Yeah, I'm
He's
a little
gonna
surprised
call.
with that.
Yeah, with ace 9. So there's one ace left in the deck. Remember, Odney brought this one in with 6 deuce of hearts. The flop misses everyone. He could bet and take it down. $150 pot. And the flop comes Jack 8-5. But Moses is going to come out from early position with his King Jack and move all in here.
It's a free tournament, right? No, it's self-paid for.
He's not going to screw around. There's already enough money in the pot, he thinks. Looks like he's all in for maybe $96 or $91.
Looks like 91.
Yeah, so it's 91 to call, and the pot is laying, I want to say about $240, $250. I don't know what Ratana is thinking.
Not enough to call for a runner diamond there.
No.
92, right?
Oh, and he's going to muck. And Miguel, he's got overcards. And he's getting about a little under 3 to 1, maybe 2.5 to 1. Here, if he thinks maybe his overs are good. And he's going to make the call. He's got that backdoor diamond with the queen. Well, the turn's a jack, and that's going to do it. Moses is going to triple through, it looks like.
That looks good to me.
And right off the bat there, that's about a $330 pot.
Yeah, ace queen diamond?
No, ace queen off.
That guy goes to go and set.
No, sometimes people just can't let go of those overcards, Shirley. Now, the problem with calling there with ace-queen on that flop is if you think the guy just has a jack and you're trying to figure, well, my overcards, I'll call because of my overcard, you don't know if the guy shares one of your cards. He could have ace-jack.
If he has ace-jack and then you hit your ace.
He could have queen-jack as well. Mm-hmm. You have to adjust your odds there.
Nice hand, boss.
And again, we want your comments, suggestions, questions always emailed to us or on 2+2. What do you think about this specific game? Now, I was talking to my producer about, well, would people want to watch this game because of all the high limit action that they've seen? But I've also heard a lot of people contacting me like, well, what happened to the lower limit, no limit game that's more instructional? So give us your feedback. Sometimes this game can be just as enjoyable as a 10-20 no limit game. Ratana has raised here out of the blind with ace-5, and he's going to take down the limpers. Shirley, I was telling the viewers last night about the little party that we had at David's house on Saturday. We played a mix of games. And Isaac won the no limit tournament.
Yes, he did. And we got a shot of David doing some little stupid dance, showing his whatever, shaking his butt. So saying, what was he saying? Bring it on, or
he had
something like
about
that. I said
12
we
beers.
had to we should start the show with that. It was hilarious. And we did get it on camera.
Yeah, we got some stuff on camera that we might be able to put on the show. Live at the bike party. Odney under the gun. He's raised here to 15. He's having trouble with the cards in the window. Come on, Odney. Show those cards. Ace-7 offsuit, it looks like here. Ace of clubs, 7 of diamonds. Brought it in for 15. And again, 3 of the aces here are out. Jack 8-3. Ken's got the nut flush draw there with diamonds in seat 8. But Paul, he's flopped top 2 pair over there in seat 3. And he's checked it. He's checking top 2 pair. And it looks like... Wow, Moses is going to bet with 5-7 here, Shirley. He's got absolutely nothing in seat 7 from the cutoff. Trying to buy it. Now, Ken has called here, and again, look at all the dead money. You would think that Jack 8 would probably move big here with a check raise. I mean, he's got maybe 150 left. The pot's already has 150. Wouldn't be a bad move to just push right here.
Push in, yeah. He doesn't have many chips.
He says raise. I mean, it's a $50 bet. He's going to push in, right? Of
There
course.
you go.
Yeah. Looks like he's got maybe 125.
I think 5-7's done.
Yeah.
But Ken will probably call. It's not that much more, but when you're on a stone cold bluff there.
50, 100. So the pot is about, I'd say, 250 to 275, and it's another maybe 100 for Ken to call. 97 for Ken to call. So he's getting about 2.5 to 3 to 1 here. The turn is a 10. And the river is a 5, and Paul escapes there with jacks up. Gonna take it down. Guess he got what he was looking for, Shirley, in the check raise.
Yeah, that's another thing here. John E. on 2+2 mentioned that Mark finished on the final table on the W Coupe event, which he did. He finished 9th place.
The W Coupe event? Which event?
The World Championship of Online Poker.
Right,
Poker
I mean
Stars.
the main event?
The main event.
Oh, the main event.
$2,500, yeah. It's not great to him. He wasn't pleased, which I knew he wouldn't be. I called him. I said, how you feeling? He was horrible.
I saw that Genocide finished 10th in the limit event on Saturday.
Did she?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Drunken debauchery.
Got to be scared of those players from Wilmington, Delaware. They're tough.
She's a pretty good player.
They might chop your head off with the credit cards. There's so many around there. Wilmington, Delaware.
What?
That's a little deep, I guess. Seat 9 is going to raise here. It's going to make it 55. Jack 6 offsuit. And again, Odney's having difficulty with the cards. He's got ace-king. He's got ace-king offsuit here, Shirley. And he's in the blind, I believe. And he's just called.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, he's in the big blind. So we're heads up here. Ratana with Jack 6 offsuit against Odney. Oh, look at that. Ace-7. Odney has checked with the 3 aces. Ratana's reaching for chips there. Looks like 50. Now, I think this is a perfect opportunity to check raise the minimum. David and I always endorse. It's tough to extract money when you're out of position here, like with this on the type
I
of
know,
hand.
but it's such a fishy raise.
Well, how is he going to get paid? Now he's turned to full house. I mean, is he going to get paid off any more here? The other thing, too, is...
He wouldn't get paid off with just double the raise.
But if a club came on the turn and the guy had something like jacks or queens, it might kill all the action anyways. But look at this. Ratana's going to keep betting. He's going to bet 50. I'm surprised at that bet. Well, maybe he figures that guy has a smaller pocket pair. Well, here's a clear example of what I'm talking about. Now, is Odney just going to bet into the river here? He's going to call and bet into the river? And look at this. Anyone with an ace would have the same full house. So what's his move here on the river? He check-called the turn. Now he's just going to bet on the river?
100.
He's going to check it. And Ratana just folds.
Yeah.
He doesn't extract anything else there. Well, he did make some money on the hand, but I don't. Like I said, I don't mind slow playing in position when a guy is firing at you as a bluff. Let him keep firing at you, but it's more difficult to do out of position, wouldn't you say?
I would. Yeah. Well, on the flop, I don't mind it, but a nice raise. I mean, even a check raise on the flop.
Yeah.
Or definitely on the turn. If he's going to bite again and bet out into you, I would put a raise in there.
And there we go with our first chip count. Peter's got about 1,000. Ratana probably dropped 200 on that hand or so he's down to maybe 800. And Odney's increased. Odney's probably the chip leader here with over 1,000 now.
Well, I don't know. Remember the one had... Oh, yeah. Seat 5 there.
So this is actually a good amount of money for a 200 game. I mean, look at that. Almost most of the people are at least over 400. A couple people over 1,000. I think this is going to be a fun night. We've seen some, at least 3 players playing some cards that are obviously questionable pre-flop. We haven't had a fun 200 game in a long time. And we had a $15 raise there. I believe it was by Moses with Queen 10. And look at this, he flops trips.
Check.
Now, I would just think that this would be an obvious bet with an ace out there if I have trip 10s. Because I'm hoping that anyone else with an ace is going to call if I raise pre-flop.
Well, plus with the 2 spades out there, you want to put some kind of money into the pot.
And he does. I like the bet a lot here. Now, let's see if Ken is smart enough to get away from his hand. It's a $60 bet, $65 bet.
Oy.
Yeah, and Ken's in big trouble. Now, if you're going to have people...
I'm very surprised at that.
If you're going to have people calling with weak aces, that's why I love the bet there with Queen 10. And usually that's what you have.
The whole thing about calling it right in that spot was, first off, you only have $15 invested pre-flop.
Yeah.
Second off, there's already 2 10s out there, 2 spades
there's 2
out
people
there,
behind
and you have a
you.
weak ace, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many reasons to fold.
And look at this. He's going to move all in here, and Ken might call. Looks like it's all in for maybe 80 or 90. I think that the pot is about 200. Oh, actually, he's all in for 180. So the pot's probably about 400 to 500, 180 to call, and now Ken is in a really tough spot.
I'm surprised he made the call on the flop. I don't think he'll make the call here. I've played with him a lot. I'm really surprised.
Oh, so you've played with him before?
He's the one that, I've played with. He's a pretty good player. I'm surprised he made that call on the flop.
He's right up. He's running you from there.
Well, if he made the call, he would need to spike
He would need
a
an ace.
2-outer.
Yeah.
Looks like the other 2 are live from what I see from discards.
I don't agree.
You ever heard of the devilfish?
And he's still thinking here. Like I said, what can you beat? I guess the only thing that you could really beat... And look at this, he's going to make the call, surely. Wow, and Moses, he raises his eyebrows. And the river is a 3. And trip 10s is going to take it down there over probably $500 to $600 pot. And, oh boy, what a clear-cut example of what we talk about when we fast play in this game because of calls from inferior hands from players. Now, even you said you played with the guy and you're surprised that he's calling
I
here.
do, and then I'm sitting here thinking, when we're sitting at the table, we don't get to see all the hands.
And he mucked his hands, so you didn't see what he had.
So we didn't see what he...
Right.
So he could have had a weaker 10, and I would have been sitting there not knowing exactly what he had. And he was usually the hands that he shows are pretty solid hands.
Elvis, them sunglasses?
Well, I mean, I think that he played it badly on every street.
Yes.
Pre-flop, I'm not going to call a raise with ace-7 offsuit.
Right.
Now, that on the flop, I'm not going to call the bet.
No, you're looking for a home run, so you're going to play that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even play that, so.
And on the turn, I'm not going to call the bet. Now, obviously, again, it's easy for us to say. And I don't mean to attack Ken personally, but that's what we're here for, to critique
Right.
the play.
And we're actually basing that not on what we know the other player had. I mean, we just don't play
no,
ace
yeah,
7.
absolutely not. It's regardless.
I wouldn't call
I mean, the
with
guy
ace
could
7
turn
with an
over
ace
ace king
10,
or ace
10.
queen in your beat, too.
Mhm.
The only thing you can beat is something like
spade draw.
jacks, queens. Yeah.
Spade draw.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
or
look at
jack.
the spade draw. What would he have raised with a spade draw? I mean, he raised pre-flop like with queen 9, queen jack, something like that. It's just a big mess, you know? Got
Yes.
him into a big mess.
I'm going to raise.
Now, we have a raise here. I believe Moses raised, and now Odney is going to re-raise to 125. So a raise and a re-raise. And Moses is going to lay down 9-10 there. Some people on the 2+2 are talking about horse as a new game
Mm-hmm.
at the
And
World
I pointed
Series.
that out particularly for you because you wanted to play more mixed games, right?
Oh, absolutely. I
In
wanted
tournaments.
to play horse at our home game on Saturday.
Well, basically, we played a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
The Badugi show was fun, though.
that was. I actually did a little bit of reading up about. I don't have a lot of experience in triple draw games, but I guess it's almost consensus that Badugi is just pretty much a pure gamble because if you're playing deuce to 7 or low ball, there are different things that you can figure out because of the cards you have in your hand. What's dead, but Badugi with the suits is just—it's almost a pure gamble.
Right.
When
What was
it's in a
the other
mixed
game we played? We played another triple draw. Oh, low ball?
Yeah, we just played ace to 5 triple
Yeah.
and deuce to 7 triple. Now we have a raise here by Odney. He's got ace jack. Looks like he made it 35 to go, and he's going to get called in a couple spots. So we got over $100 pot here to the flop. And he's hit the ace. Ace, deuce, deuce.
Do these cameras add 10 pounds? I don't want to look too fat.
Nothing like having ace, deuce, 3, 4 in your hand. But that's a different game.
Yes.
And Jake is going to bet here.
I'm going to raise.
And Odney's going to raise here immediately. It's going to make it 75 more, so he's going to make it 125 straight.
Now, there's a big difference here, and I agree with what he did. And it's, first off, it's ace-jack. Second off, the board isn't 10-10, it's deuce-deuce. So a player having a deuce is a lot less likely in a raised pot, whereas the other one with 10-10, it's more likely someone will have a 10. Those are the kind of cards people play, 10 and higher.
Well, that's kind of also why sometimes you preach if you flop trips with an ace on board, especially to bet right in. Now, Jake didn't have a deuce, but if he had a deuce, he bet and Odney raised him. And now, pretty much, especially in this game, unless the stacks are really deep, Odney's going to almost be committed to the hand.
Right.
You know, and sometimes on this game it has nothing to do with chip count, but more of ego. Because you've got a re-raise, a bet, a raise, and a re-raise. We've got a $10 raise there by Odney here. So he doubled the blind. And 5-way action.
4, it looks like to
3,
me.
4, 4. Yeah, 5-way
Oh,
action.
same.
Yeah, Odney. 10-5-8 here, a couple of diamonds. Peter's got a flush draw. Odney bets on his 8. Miguel calls with top pair. I think that's a big mistake in seat 4. And now Peter raises with the flush draw. Odney's going to make the call. And Miguel calls. And the turn is a king. And now Peter's got top pair and the flush draw. Odney's going to check. You know, this makes almost the way that this guy has played this hand here
55.
makes absolutely no sense to me. But we'll address it at the end of the hand. Miguel bets 55
Are you speaking
here.
of? You said
Seat
this guy.
four.
Okay,
Yeah.
Miguel.
Yeah, he's bet 55 here on the turn. And that's why if I was Peter, I'd be somewhat perplexed. He's betting here on the king, like he might have kings up
He
or
hasn't
something.
slowed down.
Well, no, he smooth called the
That's right.
flop, so that's why it's strange. Now, Odney is going to muck, and we're heads up here. King 3 against Jack 10. Oh, and the river's a 3, so Peter isn't going anywhere because he's made kings up. And Miguel checks. And I'd imagine that you'd want to throw a bet in here with King 3, and he's going to make a value bet here.
Bet at $55.
So $55 bet, and the pot is about $225. So it's really not that much. And again, I'll address it after the hand here, but the original raiser bet on the flop, and when I said at the time, Shirley, Jack 10, big mistake to call there, because I think it's a raise or a fold situation. You've got a guy that raises behind you. And now with Jack 10, when a king appears on the turn, you bet in between. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And now he calls, and kings up is going to take it down. You know what I mean? The way that the hand played out
Yes.
doesn't make a lot of sense.
They got your name wrong.
And he takes down a nice pot there, Peter in seat 5. I mean, maybe he was trying to represent kings up there on the turn. Well, of course, there is no right answer.
That's right.
Yeah.
Flush draw on the flop, and I have the king, and then I
All over the pot. So is this the guy in the grey shirt? I say,
That's
"Look,
your card."
She goes, yeah.
That was-
Down at the table.
That was perfect.
She goes, yeah, they do double dialogue and everything. They got your name wrong. Your name's Andy, I guess. Name in the king.
Hey, he says they got my name wrong.
His name wrong on the internet.
Looks like I got a couple of limpers.
Stop ship from some recording and send that up, if you like.
And we're going to see four-way action here.
That's 20.
9, 5, 7. Couple of hearts. Ken is going to bet here with the flush draw.
Raise. Put your card in, please. Sir. Put your card in. Okay. You raise, make it 40.
And seat 2 has got 9 deuce, has raised with top pair. The board is 9, 5, 7. A couple of hearts. Ken bet with the flush draw. And Andre in seat 2 has raised. And Moses is going to call with 5-10. Wow. Oh, the turn is a 9, so Andre makes trips now. Ken checks.
You don't want them to see that on the internet.
Bet 100.
Andre's going to bet 100 here with trip 9s. I don't know what Moses is thinking here, but the action's over to him in the small blind. Now, this is one of these types of situations.
He's raising.
Wow! He's going to represent the 9 that's in Andre's hand. Oh.
I'm all in.
He makes it 200, and Andre quickly moves all in over the top, Shirley, like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. Now, some people would be worried about kicker problems if you've got a guy that check raised you from up front here in the turn, but I suppose that Moses is not that deep, so I'd probably put him all in for 200 as
Probably
well.
got me.
Well, I don't think he's going to be
Probably
put
got
all in because I don't think he's going to call.
Right.
It was a nice try.
sure you
Nice effort.
He's got me. I know he does. Good hand, man. Good hand.
Andre's saying, he's got me. I know you do. Good hand. Goading up Moses to call. Maybe Moses thinks he has the best hand. Or he's thought he's had the best hand the whole way. I mean, Andre's been out of line a little bit tonight.
Yes.
I don't know how many of those hands he's shown down.
Before we even got to filming.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So he might think that he still has the best hand. I mean, he already check raised 100, so he's got probably $170 invested in the pot. The pot's probably, $350, $400. Well, he's going to fold.
Very astute laydown. My very good-looking friend. Good laydown.
Yeah, good laydown with 5.
In the movies, bro. You could be like Andy Garcia or some De Niro, Pacino. You're a good-looking guy.
Well, Shirley, I'm sure that you've had
man.
guys tell you that you're a good-looking woman at the table, but what do you think about guys telling other guys that they're good-looking when you're at the table? What do you think about that?
I don't think I've seen it, but I think
You've never seen it before, really?
telling another guy he's good looking.
It's
No, but it's
strange,
commonplace on Live at the Bike, don't you think? We had that last week. Remember where the guys were high-fiving and hugging?
Yeah,
and
gay undertone Mike. That's
Yes.
what they call him on 2+2.
That was a strange show. By the way, I don't know if you talked about it, but we stopped airing, and then the next hand, that crazy player, remember his swings were so big, and he had like $1,500, and he would go back down, then he would go back up. And the hand after we cut off the feed, he had pocket kings, and someone put a bad beat on him, and he did lose all his chips.
All right. Can you call Grace?
It's on tonight, actually.
Hey, can you call Grace and see what he had?
Raise, make it 120.
Ooh, a raise there by Ken, and a re-raise by Ratana with ace-queen.
Time, please.
A raise and a re-raise there by Ratana.
The question you have to ask yourself, sir, is do you feel lucky? Do you feel lucky?
Andre, it says on the side of his hat.
So he got a raise and a re-raise.
That's very intimidating.
Pocket fours, ace-queen coming over the top. And Ratana is going to take it down. There you go.
So you are dead, Bart.
I'm dead?
You're dead.
Why is that?
Well, because I forgot the
Hey,
show
can I
aired,
buy
and you've
your,
already let everybody
peach
know
chips?
that you managed to beat me
Peach
heads
there
up.
for a blue?
Yeah, well, actually, the point of the story wasn't so much that I beat you. It was the fact that David was talking so much smack to you about how he would take you out if you guys played heads up 10 times. He'd win at least 70% of the time.
There's
and
no
you,
way in hell.
And you beat him, but you were more upset about anything
I
the
was
entire
more-
night by losing to me.
Yes,
and
I
wasn't
was.
talking anything.
But when we're in the booth, you sit here and you think you know everything, Bart. So I just have to put you in your place once in a while.
Well, I guess
But
it just didn't happen on
it didn't
Saturday.
happen, so
Yeah.
I'm going to go for the same challenge as I offered David. We'll play 10. Bart got lucky. But someone mentioned that
Jay Destiny emailed us and said, "Hey Shirley, how did it make you feel to get owned by Bart?"
Yeah.
Heads up.
Mhm.
Yeah, thanks, Jay.
he's the one that got Bart in trouble.
King Jack 7 here, a couple of hearts. Ratana has got top pair. I believe this one was limped around. And R.D. Hickman, he says,
I'm gonna bet 5.
He missed me.
yeah, and he says he likes the new schedule and he likes those ordinary run-of-the-mill games. So thank you. Now, these are emails coming in from liveatthebike.com. Ratana is going to bet here.
You may make the record for most times yelled at.
Well,
It looks like
while we're-
Ratana has...
You know what?
Does he
if you
just
check
bet
the Guinness
straight
book,
out
I'm
here?
gonna
Yeah, he's
take
bet straight out,
most
and he's going to
violations.
take it down.
Okay.
Me and Randy Moss.
While that mess was going on,
Yeah.
you didn't mention the last part of that email, which is your tech guys are great. Come
Oh,
on,
there
you
you go.
have to give it. You have to give them credit.
Tech crew
They
is great.
can't. Yeah, they can't read that when they're doing that stuff.
You bet blind.
Well, I think that Wednesday's game is going to become legendary, though, as we're getting into it. I mean, the other thing that Yosh was telling me was that
So you take the blinds, sir? Take
the pros are just salivating over this game, and that he
Mm-hmm.
needs to really keep. He's working on keeping a balance.
Oh,
You know-
so he's like only inviting a couple a week.
Well, it's not necessarily invite thing, but the main players that are invited are the whales, and then if the seats are open, then other people can come in. But
Get 50.
I think that we're in store for a great show tomorrow night. Seat 7 here has raised with Ace 5 offsuit.
Who raised it?
6-7.
Elvis?
Elvis. Those glasses aren't that effective.
Ace 5 offsuit there for Moses.
Oh, okay. Then they
And Ratana called 6-10 of clubs.
Just to let you know, you look
And the flop comes Jack 8-4. No one has a
Spoke
piece
to
of
my wife,
this.
said, who's that good-looking guy in the green shirt?
Again, the flop, I believe, is Jack 8-4. We have it as Jack 10-4. And Moses is going to continue with the betting lead here. He's bet 25.
Is that what you said?
And he's going to take it down.
Elvis looking guy.
Well, of course, my question to you, Shirley, was that when are you gonna put our home game experience in your little journal? On
and I
Poker
told you
Babes?
yes. The
Okay.
only thing is that my partner, who is the one that puts, I write it and he puts it up. He had his LASIK eye surgery yesterday.
Oh,
So,
really? Oh.
Yeah, I just didn't want to mess with it. I'll do something about it tonight.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually a little bit behind on that. So
And this is Steve, right?
yes.
So we're not going to see him in glasses anymore? Supposedly?
No, they can give him a 20/20 vision, but he needs the glasses to read.
Oh, okay.
So
Limp, limp, limp. Seat 4's got ace, queen of spades. Looks like he's in the big blind. Let's see if he raises it up here. Looks like Miguel's reaching for chips, and he's going to make it
35 more.
35 with ace, queen of spades to go here.
Giving you a chance to look at your cards.
What does he do?
Yeah, raises
Stab
it.
in the back.
Exactly. Me and you? Go have a look again now.
Everyone's folded around to Paul.
35.
And what is Paul doing here? He's got Jack 8 off suit.
Guess they all in.
He's trying to see my reaction. Not
He's
at all.
thinking about making the call here.
Well, I haven't got a very good hand, so I'm just figuring what to do.
Sounds like he's English or something, too? Aussie, Australian. A lot of guys with accents on this show lately.
Can I get 50-cent drop?
And he's going to muck it. And Miguel takes it down.
Thank you.
Let's get up to him.
Okay, very good.
What do you think about players wearing ties at the table like they want to
Right, Jack.
convey some sort of image, or maybe they just came from work?
it kind of says that to me about the businessman.
What, that he doesn't really know how to play poker?
Right. That they're doing it for fun.
Rick Nebbiolo.
That's
people,
true.
People are familiar. He told me that he used to have a job here at the bike, and then he left, but he had bought all these shirts and nice ties, and he decided that he was just going to wear them when he was playing live because he believed that portrayed that image, like he didn't know what was going on. So I don't know
Well,
if he
there's
still
always
does that.
exceptions to the rule, but
Yeah.
I mean, when a player first sits there, a lot of times stereotypes are what comes in your head first
Yeah.
until they prove you otherwise.
Now we've got a straddle here. First straddle of the day. Of course, straddle is a big blind, a second big blind, so it's $10 to call. And we've got a few callers. Seat 6 is in the straddle spot.
Said it's all in, Brian, next hand.
Flop comes ace, 6, 10, a couple of clubs. Ratana's got Ace 5, and he bets. And Jake is going to
Easy
call.
call there.
Flush draw,
Straight draw. Got
straight draw. And we're heads up. Turns a queen. Tana checks. Now I was going to say, it could be a time for Jake to push, but he's got to push hard. That's not enough. I mean, he bets 40 here. You know, I mean, if he had bet 120, it might be huge, but the river's a deuce, and he doesn't get there. And again, if he wants to win the pot, he's going to have to bet it, and I would assume big. The pot's now 200. You know, if he puts in a big bet on the turn with ace, you know, it's hard for Ratana to call. And he's bet 100, and I still don't think that's enough either there, Shirley. It's 100 into a $200 pot. Let's see. Well, Ratana doesn't look like he likes it. He doesn't like it. And give credit for Jake to try to steal it here. He's missed his draw. I'm not quite sure if the bet here is enough.
I know. If I was sitting in Ratano's seat 9, I would call.
And
he did call.
He did call. Now, I mean, if he had bet 150 or 200, it might have been just about enough.
Then it might have been enough. Yeah, it might have been enough to make me lay down.
He went wrong. Just didn't bet enough.
But even 150, I think I might call. You know, I mean, you...
With ace 5? Well, I mean, the thing is because the way that he played on the turn, he bet 40 on the turn. If he had pushed hard on the turn and forced you to call, and then pushed hard again on the river...
If he pushed... Yes, done. Done with it.
Yeah.
But the way that it played out and only betting 100 or 150, and you have to take into consideration that he might have a flush draw, which that weak bet on the turn kind of smelled of a weak flush draw or some kind of draw or a hand where they didn't really like it. You know, he didn't like his hand.
Right.
Then $100 isn't a lot to call.
Why is that? You got to play the...
Donna, seat open.
Sometimes people don't, you know, they don't pull the trigger enough.
Mm-hmm.
For me?
Yes, Blair.
I mean, if you're going to bluff someone, you've got to figure out how much it's going to take to get them off of the hand, obviously.
Right.
Now, Paul, we haven't heard really anything from him. He's going to make a raise with pocket 7s. Makes it 30 to go. Looks like he's going to take it down. New player coming into seat 6. And that player
In between there, take a hand in between.
is
You don't have to buy the button.
Michael.
Just put $5 in, take a hand.
Michael coming into seat 6.
No, you don't get the button. Small one, big one.
Michael Miller. There we go. MM in seat 6.
What's that tournament? 125? 200 to most?
Yeah. No rebuys.
Michael Miller coming into seat 6.
25.
And got a raise there.
Re-raise.
Seat number 9.
Re-raise.
Makes it 25 to go. Ace Queen. Wow. And Paul Sharp is going to re-raise 100 more with Ace Jack. Wow. Couple people muck. Ace 10 mucks. And now the under the gun here with Ace Queen. What does he do? He has the best hand, but he's gotten re-raised in the field here. I got to tell you, usually standardly, Shirley, I get rid of this hand. A lot of times I won't necessarily bring it in for a raise. I'll limp in early position. And if I raise and get re-raised, it's just a really tough spot to play out of position with the ace-queen. But it looks like he's made the call. Whoa, maybe he's moved all in. Oh, he's moved all in. Wow, and Paul calls him immediately with the ace-jack. And we're talking about we're talking about an $800 pot, $400 from each player. Like again, like it was
like they have aces and kings or something.
He's got 500. It's $1,000 pot here. Ace jack against ace queen. The flop brings no help. Oh, the turn is a king, and Paul has the jack of clubs in his hand. Let's see the river. The river is a 9, and ace queen is gonna win this one. Wow. Ratana raises. He gets re-raised. He pushes all in. He
You
pushes
jump
all,
ace jack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he pushes all in for putting me all in for 500, and the guy calls him like,
Like
bang,
nothing. Right.
with
Nothing
ace
to think
jack
about.
for $500. That's incredible. I mean, that's corporation Mike-esque to make a relation to that. People who are familiar with the show.
I saw him in the background tonight. Maybe he's going to try to jump in this game. We have a.
I mean, $500
Now Paul, after
with
losing
ace
there
jack
with-
offsuit?
He
My
lost with
goodness.
ace jack, and now he has aces.
And now he's got pocket aces. Paul's got pocket aces.
Right. Raise it.
And he's raised. I don't know. He's bought in for either 2 or 300. If you go down to broke, you can bring it in for 300.
He bought in for 1. You could do a short buy.
That's why he's
in
doing a
between.
short buy.
What a time to do a short buy.
And he's raised to 35 here.
Now, that's one thing Barry Greenstein talks about a lot is playing on a short stack. And I'm not real thrilled with doing it. You know, if I got, knocked down to nothing, I'm buying in for 3.
Look at Moses. He's going to re-raise with King 10. So he's going to lose $100 here, most likely, unless he gives Paul a bad beat. I can see that a few of the kings are already dead, so he's in real bad shape.
He only needs jack queen 9.
Yeah, and here we go. Boy, a lot of pre-flop action
I've
here.
got the better hand at this point.
I mean, this is insanity. So 100 from each player into the pot. Aces against King 10.
Doesn't mean anything.
Here we go. Well, that's no help. Moses is going to have to catch running cards here. Queen on the turn. And that's it. Harmless deuce on the river. Paul's going to take it down with a couple of black aces. Boy, I guess it's any high Broadway cards tonight is good here. I mean, that was... I mean, obviously we've seen some huge plays in games, but I don't know if I've ever seen anybody call, $500 all in or another $300 with ace jack here on the show.
Well, not the way that it went down either. I mean, a raise, a re-raise, and then a re-raise all in.
Yeah. I mean, that's
ace jack
crazy.
isn't good.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed I didn't find this game before I came into the booth. I was playing in a 100 game.
Peter's going to bring this one in for 20, it looks like, in seat 5. He's got ace-jack offsuit. Wow. Ken calls with ace-4 offsuit on the button.
Yeah, I take back what I said.
Isn't that always the case? Re-raise.
And Ratana's going to re-raise out of the blind to 60 with King-9 suited. And Jake quickly calls with Queen-Jack of hearts. Now, Peter, he's raised here. He's gotten re-raised by one of the blind spots, and the big blind has called him. I got to tell you, at this point, I'm done with ace-jack now. But we've seen a lot of people playing hands.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to muck it. And Ken's out of there.
In seat 1, I'm curious to see. I want to see how many chips he has. So those are exactly the kind of hands I like to play against people in seat. People like seat 9 with that many chips. Oh, he only has 200. When seat 9 has that many chips, that's the kind of hand that I want to play. But I want to have a lot more chips.
Well, the
front of
flop
me.
comes Queen 6 deuce, and Ratana, he checked, and Jake has moved all in. And Ratana quickly mucks. Quickly mucks. And again, we've seen a lot of people come in with re-raises out of the blinds in this game so far in the first hour or so, with questionable holdings.
Yes.
King 9 suited, I mean, it's a tough hand to play from up front, right? I mean,
Yeah.
geez.
It's a tough hand in any position, really.
Yeah.
Nice play for you guys.
All right, man. See you later. Good luck in your tournament, huh?
Thank you.
Take care, man.
Hey, take off your glasses, buddy. Take off. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Small blind.
What are you, a snowboarder? Take off your jacket, too.
Looks like there's a little posturing at the
Hello to
table.
you. Hello to you.
Now that we settle low,
All right, now we can put him back on. All right.
whose turn is it?
He does up to C3.
Well, there's nothing like wearing sunglasses in a low limit, no limit game.
25.
I have my
Paul
man,
Sharp
the,
in seat 3 is going to come in here with pocket 8s. Makes it 25 to go. Everyone's folded around to the blinds here.
Oh, sorry.
Now Andre, it's over to him in the big blind. He's got Jack 3 off suit. He's going to play it.
Oh, pocket
Why
nines
not?
over there.
Jack 3 against pocket 8s. Paul is a little over a 70% favorite here. Flop comes Queen 10-9. So Jack 3's got an open-ended straight draw.
Yourself out.
Andre's checked. Oh, wow. Paul checks right behind him. The turn is a queen. And now Andre bets.
Just 45.
2 of us? Yes, sir.
$45. And now Paul's really backed himself into a tough spot here, and he folds by not betting the flop. He allows Andre to steal it from him on the turn there at the semi-bluff. Had a open-ended straight draw. And he takes it down.
Big blind C3. How many cards back out of this guy? I left 1 card on the bottom.
You got money back?
No money back.
So I'm going to take this opportunity while Shirley's out of the booth to talk to you all about that game. No. So she thinks she can take me heads up here in 10 games, huh? Hey, Shirley, what's up? Raise here by seat 7. Makes it 25 to go with pocket 3s. And looks like Paul has got 4-3 suited in the small blind, but Andre, he's playing any 2 cards right now, Shirley. He's got 10-4, and he's going to make the call for 25.
Mm-hmm.
10-4 offsuit. Miguel's got queen deuce suited. He makes the call, so we get about a $75 pot. And we are going to see a flop here. Well, queen 10-10. Look at this. Andre has flopped trip 10s. Miguel's got top pair, and he's going to bet right away. Looks like he's bet $45. Moses mucks. Let's see what Andre does with the trip 10s. He's going to make a smooth call. Again, Charlie, it just amazes me how people don't put money in the pot with the best hand. The turn is a deuce of diamonds. And it's usually people that aren't that advanced in the game. Let's see what Andre does here. He's checked again. And Miguel is going to bet. He's going to bet 60. And he calls again, Shirley, out of position. He's done it twice tonight, and it just drives me to want to pull my hair out.
And especially,
and is he going to check the river? Because Miguel's not going to bet the river for him.
I would hope that he's not going to bet.
The river's an 8. And what is he going to do now?
He did bet.
What's the action here? Wow,
he just went all in.
Andre moved all in, and Miguel called him. So I guess what do I know? But it's so. This table has got to be one of the weakest tables we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, if the 200 game was always like this, it's the only game that I would play.
Mm-hmm.
As Tuckman says, people are giving money away here. Come on and hop on the bike. We're only 10 miles south of Los Angeles.
For the ESPN people.
That is insane. And Andre.
That call on the turn just reeked of him having the 10. He shrugged his shoulders like, oh, what the hell?
I'm surprised that the guy even bet the turn, to be honest with you. I mean, if you've got queen deuce and the flop comes queen 10-10, and you bet a healthy amount and somebody calls, you've almost got to think that you're beat right there, you know? It's just insane.
But especially on the turn when he called and shrugged his shoulders,
Yeah.
like that's such a big tell there.
I just...
So we have so Miguel's finished, I guess. We also had Michael moved over to Peter's seat in seat 5.
Can I change seats? You may. You should play one more there.
It's Michael there. I've played with him a lot. He goes by the name Milo. That's what I know him as. And pocket queens here for seat 2.
Yeah, Andre. And he's going to, if he bets his hand, and that's what drives me so crazy, Shirley, is that if the guy's going to play garbage like 10-4 and show it down, why wouldn't you bet your hand strong?
If he's playing 10-4, obviously he doesn't know some of the fundamentals you know, Bart. Don't you think?
And then he just doesn't get it to put money in with the best hand.
Right.
And now I think that he's pulled off what looks like a limp on the button with queens, and I believe seat 5 in the blind has raised. He limped on the button, and he got somebody to raise in the blind. He limped with queens. Flabbergasting.
You know what I love about this game? 1 second you're my brother, and the next second you check raise your grandmother.
You know what? I did not check. I'm the button, smartass.
And he's going to make... Oh, is he going to raise it? He's going to raise. So he's pulled the limp raise on the button.
80 to call.
And he's made it 80.
This is a fun crowd.
Ramsey coming into seat 4, familiar face. Oh, and Allen's coming into seat 6. I wonder if that's the same Allen from the 500 game.
Before I say anything, dealer, this man taught me how to play no limit hold'em
And Michael makes the call,
right here.
and Andre's in great shape.
You know what they say about those
The
two?
limp re-raise from the button with queens.
So I'm probably like
Shirley, would you ever limp with queens pre-flop from the button if it was limped around?
Just like that draw you were on last time.
No.
Here comes the
No.
flop. 9-7-5 rainbow.
50.
And Andre's going to bet 50.
You taught him well.
And Michael folds.
Good lay down.
And Andre shows pocket queens there.
Very nice.
I just always think that it's interesting that somehow it's fundamental, like instinct, that beginning players will always slow play their big hands. I mean, where did they learn that? Is it just like something that we always, that as a new player, everyone draws to, that they want to win a big pot? Is that what it is? It doesn't make a lot of... I never looked at it that way. When I was starting playing, I never looked to trap to make a big hand because I always was taught to bet my hands. But
Well, you were taught that. Some of these players don't have the luxury of having people teach them. So, don't you agree?
Well, I wonder, and like I said, I don't mean to criticize, but it always amazes me that normally 90% of the time that's the case.
I'll play one hand. Always raise.
So we've got a raise here by Andre with King Jack from the cutoff. Makes it 35 to go. Looks like he's going to take it down, and he does. And it's just a situation as he builds chips up. And look at seat number 9. He's going to move over there.
Look at all those chips he has in front of him.
Yeah, I mean that's incredible. He's got probably over 1,500 now, I would assume. But I mean, the reason why Corporation Mike in some of our big games, and a person like Patrick, for people who are familiar with these characters, why they make a lot of money is because they bet their good hand, or they bet as bluffs and they bet their good hand strong.
Yes.
I mean, Patrick, you can't necessarily put the guy on a hand.
No, you can't.
Because he could be bluffing $15,000 or $20,000 with nothing, or he could have top set and bet $20,000 at you.
Right.
I mean, and that's the beauty of it.
Right.
That's the beauty of that style. But when you tone it down, when you have your good hands, I think it just works to the opposite effect of what you're looking for. Same thing with a person like Jay, who...
Jay?
Yeah, Jay, Asian fellow with a fan. He lifts. He's got big biceps. Plays on the show.
Are you telling me he's
Sometimes.
nice looking, Bart?
He won the freeze out we had a few months ago, the 50,000 that we filmed on the show. Jay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One of the ones I saw was with Patrick winning.
Oh, look at this. Ramsey, he's going to move all in here. He's got ace-9 from the big blind. I believe the small blind just completed with 5-3 spades.
Sorry.
Excuse me, he's heads up against...
Ramsey, I have suited.
He's heads up against Andre. I believe Andre limped under the gun.
Connectors, man. Come on.
And
Come on.
Ramsey has raised out of the big blind.
I might want to see a flop
And
one of these.
Andre's not going to take 5-3 suited heads up.
Where's my friend over there?
She's not here.
I told him this is the hot seat. They never believe
Are
me.
you gone? Okay.
So Ramsey moving over there to seat 9. And, excuse me, seat 1. And Jake moving from seat 1 to seat 4. There we go. Button is in seat 7.
And a new player in seat 6. Oh,
Oh, that's
Alan.
Al. Seat 6.
Oh, not the one we were thinking of, though.
No, that's not the Alan that we were thinking of. This is Al.
Oh.
Limp.
25 and more, I run.
Andre's got 9-6 offsuit here in seat 2. And he's going to raise it up to 15.
Of course he is.
Yep.
No, if you want to win
Paul
this,
Sharp's
you
going to
go
make a
all in.
call here
That's
with
all.
King 8 suited.
Right? That's what they told me. I've been playing this
And we're
game
going to see a
for
family
years.
pot here.
I read the book.
It's time to call.
Yeah. No, I'm calling. I'm not going to raise.
And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4-way action. $60 pot.
4 good players.
Andre, the original raiser. Ace, King, 6. Now, if Andre bet this strong, he would take it down, but he's checked here. You know, he made a mini raise. And again, I don't know if that might be a little bit advanced for him, Shirley, but
Yeah, but honestly, Bart, I mean, you have 6-9 and a board of ace-king, which most people
Yeah, but
play.
you've-
You're going to bet out on that?
yeah, but if I raise pre-flop,
Against three other
I
people?
don't care what I have in my hand. I'm going to bet on that flop. That's a great flop for me to bet if I've raised pre-flop.
When you've had
Absolutely.
callers behind you?
Why not? See where you're at. Throw in $30, $35 there. You're just going to check and fold? What are you looking to hit if you raise with 9-6?
Well, you're not
I mean,
Okay.
what are you looking to hit with 9-6 offsuit?
more than that to me, but...
Let me tell you now.
Well, I don't know what you're looking to hit. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
well, I mean, with 3 other players in the pot, an ace and a king come up, someone has a piece of that. I just wouldn't even mess with it. I'm not...
Nice guy.
You only have $15 in the pot. I'm not betting out. I'm dumping it.
Oh, look
I'm
at this. He
check
makes the
dumping it.
call. He makes the
I'm
call.
not check calling it.
Yeah. Turn is a jack.
Now I might have
The point I'm making is that the hand has relatively little value anyway, so I consider the raise pre-flop to be a bluff raise.
Right.
So why not continue with the bluff? on
And
the scary
if
board?
it was 2 people, I totally agree with you, but not against three players behind you.
Well, the river is a 7, and Paul checked the turn, and now Andre bets as a bluff here on the river. He has a pair of 6s, but Paul has the best hand with a king. He checked the turn. It's a $60 bet. And look at this. Paul's going to move all in here. This is some weird action. Weird action. And I don't think Andre's going to call here with the bottom pair. So Andre checked the flop. Paul bet the flop. Andre check call. Check, check on the turn. Andre bets the river, and Paul moves over the top all in. Takes it in.
That cap in my water. It's right back there.
Big line.
And the cap right there, right under the table. Yeah,
No, this is mine. I just put it there. This is mine. No, this is from yesterday.
I have one somewhere.
You should have one under your feet.
Because I'm going to leave him here.
Okay, I'll give you one anyway. This is from yesterday. I'll give you one anyway.
Wow.
Yes.
Andre's got a lot of chips.
Yeah, he does. He's putting them in the
Don't
rack.
worry about it. If you're not going to use it, you can give it to me.
The action's on you, too.
I got, but I'll be back.
Now
So the
it's
button here is in seat 8.
I got a guy. You know what? I'm with a bigger fish to fry. I'm working on a deal right now.
All right. Never mind. This is just for fun. Wow.
And Paul is going to bring this
35.
one in for a raise. He's got ace 10 offsuit. $35 to go.
Razor.
3 bases.
And the small blind, we've seen this guy do this before with King 9. He's going to re-raise with Queen Jack offsuit. Wow, an under-the-gun raiser. Incredible. So, $35 raise. Ratana's made it, I believe he's made it...
How many pounds of chips does he have?
Lighter than yours.
He's made it 100 to go here, Shirley, so it's 65 more. Queen Jack offsuit. And Paul's asking him, how much do you have left? Oh, it looks like Andre's heading off, but we hear he's coming back. Whatever that means.
We'll see, yeah.
Yeah, he's leaving,
Hopefully
but he's
he
coming
can come back. He's quite entertaining.
Now remember, Paul was the guy that called with the ace-jack all-in before, the re-raise all-in, and that's how he lost all his chips. And it was these two, Ratana with the ace-queen and Paul with the ace-jack. Now Ratana's come back over the top with queen-jack, and he's just going to smooth call and see the flop.
Now, I don't know if we called that wrong. It looked like he only put $30 more in.
Good luck.
There we go.
He's made the call. And here we go, heads up. So it's a $200 pot. Look at this. Ratana's outflopped him. Queen 8-6. And he's bet here. Looks like a 100 or 200. Oh, he's actually moved all in. We're getting word he's moved all in.
Yeah, I did.
Andre, see you later. I'll show you one card.
And Paul, he said, can I show you one card, the 10?
I'll give it to you.
And he's going to muck it. And Ratana is going to take it down. He's got quite a few chips for this game, too. Upwards of 1,300 to actually 1,500 with those whites.
He has, he has $100 chips there.
That's a hefty stack in this game. Hefty duty.
You were lucky.
Why? Because that guy didn't come out?
My card didn't hit.
And again, I haven't had the luxury of playing in this game very often because when I usually play No Limit, or when I have time to, we don't get a lot of time to play it as props because we get bounced around, and I don't think it's a good idea to not be able to stay in the game in a No Limit game. And I will choose to play the 3 to 5 because I think it's a better.
It's a great game.
Setup.
Yeah, I like 3 to 5 too.
But boy, if the 200 games play like this, I might be
switching.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy action.
The way the action's going tonight, you could make more money than you would be able to in the 3 to 5.
Yeah, depending on the lineup. Ramsey's raised here, Queen 10 of spades, and he's going to take it down. Now remember when we started spreading the 3 to 5, which was maybe 6 months ago now, something like that.
I think a little longer, but right in there.
Yeah, right around whatever. I think we had started the show before it began spreading.
Okay.
I thought the game was relatively weak tight. People were playing super conservative because I remember we tried to do the game on Live the Bike, and the first 2 or 3 times it was just a bore fest because I think people were moving up from the 200 game and were a little bit more conservative with their money. But now, if the lineup's right, it can be the best game in the house, and it's my favorite game to play here, the 3 to 5. Got a couple of limpers, and seat number 2 has raised with ace-queen, and that's not Andre, it's a new player.
One more, 30.
And Ken has made another call with a weak ace, ace-8, and he's in big trouble. And Ratana has made the call. Al has moved over to seat 2. Al in seat 2. And a couple people have called his raise. And we're going to see 3-way action. Ace-queen, ace-8, and 5-6 of hearts. Oh, and look at that. Ken's hit top pair. Al's checked. Again, is this giving you a different perspective for
Absolutely.
Ken?
Absolutely.
Ken bets. And Ratana quickly calls the bet. Ken bets all in for probably 85. Ratana quickly calls. And Ratana's going to have to improve here. Turn is an ace. Ratana's going to need to spike a 5 here. The river's a king.
8 and a deuce.
And Ken's going to take it down with aces up.
blinds, please. Small blind, big blind. Big blinds.
Nice hand, nice hand.
So the button here is in seat number 2. The bizarro world of the 200 no limit restricted buy-in game. Oh, looks like it's Tony the Mailman.
Tony.
25.
Tony the Mailman, he was one of our first guest commentators on
Yes, he
Latin like
was.
7 or 8 months ago. Back when we were in the old room. Look at that, he's wearing a Negro League baseball jersey.
What?
Look at that. Negro League. He's got all of the logos, I guess, of all the old Negro League teams. Oh, that's really interesting. I've never seen a shirt like that.
3 players.
Wow. We've got 3-way action here. Pot was raised, I believe, by seat number 7 with King Queen. Moses. Flop comes Ace Jack 9 with a couple of hearts.
Check these in. Check around.
And it gets checked around. Seat 4's got Queen Jack from up front. And now he bets with second pair. Bets $30. Now Moses has a straight draw here. He mucks. Ratana mucks. And Jake is going to take it down.
I'll make a prediction. Tony's going to tear this table up.
Think so?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't really know that much about the Negro Leagues, but supposedly back in the day, before they integrated baseball, there was some of the best talent that was really never discovered was in some of those leagues there, and that is a really cool shirt. Never seen anything like that before. Wow. Seat 9 is going to raise here. He's got King, Queen of Diamonds. Makes it 50 to go.
There's some pretty big raises we've been seeing here, but the players are calling them. You know, if they're going to call them, might as well make them, huh?
And he's going to take this one down. Russ McGinley on 2+2 says, "Hey Bart, where'd you hide these idiots when I was there?" Of course, Russ lost most of his bankroll playing the 200 game here.
Most of his bankroll? Or is he spending money for the trip?
Well, whatever. I don't know. Whatever. I don't. I mean, poker bankroll is used so loosely. I mean, if people have another job and they have this money that they use for poker, then he could have lost most of his money that he likes to use for poker. And I think he lost like $800 or $900 or something like that over the course of a couple of days. Bad beats though. He played a pretty solid game.
Still on a test drive.
15.
A $15 raise there by Ken with Ace 9. And he's going to follow up here. The flop comes King, Queen, 9.
35.
He bets 35. A couple people have second pair. Otana's going to let go of the 8.
Yep.
This is a tough spot for Queen 10 to call. He does have a gut shot. I mean, I think you made the point earlier is that we've seen the fact that Ken has played rather questionably, but I don't think any of the other players have seen that. I think he's probably portrayed a tight image.
Yeah, they've mucked him. He's mucked his hands face down.
So I'm surprised that Ramsey's calling here with Queen 10. He does have a gut shot. And for Moses to make this overcall would be incredible with Queen Deuce, especially on the short
Look
stack.
at those chips he has.
And
he
makes the call. Wow,
That's a desperation call.
Unbelievable.
And please give me a deuce. Please give me a deuce.
The turn is a 6. Let's see what Ken does now. If he shuts down. Look at this. Moses pulls the call on the flop, and now he's moved all in on the turn from early position. $77. Well, that's an interesting play. Make the call on the flop and push on the turn. Ken gets out. And now Ramsey. Wow, and Ramsey's going to make this call, 77. Quite a bit of money there in the pot. It's going to be probably over $300 or so. And the river is a 5, and Queen 10 is going to play.
Queen.
Again, very bizarre.
Yes.
I think tonight's, the catchphrase for tonight could be bizarre. And actually, the last 200 game was bizarre, but for other reasons, not because of the play, just for what was kind of going on.
Nice catch.
Guys touching guys.
Yeah,
stuff
but that
like
play
that.
was that play was kind of bizarre too.
Yeah.
The one player that was drinking, he was going kind of wild.
There, get another shot of that. It's like those logo, old Negro Baseball League logos. I wonder if you can buy genuine, like, merchandise. Because I don't know who owns the rights to those teams now. Isaac says he's seen it on the internet. But again, I wonder who collects the royalties for all the money that go to those teams. Because, I mean, none of those teams exist. I don't know if the organizations exist. But it's interesting.
There's nothing I can do, but I have to call. There was enough money in the pot.
So Tony plays a pretty solid game. He plays a lot of tournaments.
He's a great player.
Yeah. And he had posted from the side, so he's in there with deuce 7 of hearts. And he flops trips. He's got trips. Queen, deuce, deuce. Let's see how he plays it. There's a couple diamonds on board. And Ramsey's got a queen, and he's going to bet.
This is just so you call. If I wanted you to run, I go all
Bets
in.
25.
So did Tony post behind the button?
Yes.
So he's last to act.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's going to be in position
See
here.
what he does.
Well, if you're in position here, I think you could smooth call. It's queen, deuce, deuce with 2 diamonds. The queen of diamonds out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's see what Tony does here. He's giving him a long stare.
He has no diamonds in his hand. I think I'd put in a raise, but he's just going to call.
He's going to smooth call.
Did I forget to tell you?
Let's see the turn. It's a 9 of spades. And where is the button here, Donna? Our assistant. Button is in C5. So, excuse me, Tony is in the blind, Shirley. So he's out of position. He moves all in, and Ramsey quickly calls. So Tony check called the flop, moves all in the turn, and Ramsey, again, calls like it's nothing with Queen Jack. And the river is a 4.
Nothing I can do.
And Tony's going to take it down with trip deuces. Wow. Again, very, very strange. New player coming into seat 6, Hugh. Hugh. Maybe he's a Borg. Hugh. Again, that's a deep one. And Scrapper Dog here says, Bart, why does it matter who's putting the money in as long as it's going in? This is on 2+2. Slow playing is not always the way to go, but if the other guy's tossing money in the pot, why not? You could give him a reality check with the trips and have him fold, or just play along until he stops betting. And again, I don't necessarily have a problem with that, Scrapper Dog, if you're in position, but we've been seeing people slow play out of position. And then check down the river and hope that the guy continues to bet.
Well,
And
I
they've
don't mind
gotten
slow playing, but I think
they've
that
gotten lucky that some of the guys have continued to betting, but it's difficult to do that out of position because you don't know what the guy's going to do second. I mean, if the guy's bluffing into you, then I understand. Smooth call, can continue to let him bluff into you. But when you're in early position with the monster, I mean, you probably want to put some money in there as opposed to
I
check
still don't
calling.
think it's so bad on the flop. On the turn, yes,
Right.
I agree.
Well, okay, yeah.
I know you like getting your money in with the best of it because people will call you, but you know, if I'm going to have someone sticking more money on the turn, I'm going to try to let them do it.
Jake has made a raise here. He's got ace queen of hearts.
Two good players. Two good players.
Oh, and the flop comes. Paul's made the call with king 10. The flop comes king 10-3. Look at the draw for Jake. I think all the money's going to go in here. Well, Paul doesn't have much. He's got top 2. I'm sure he's going to make this move all in from early position. And Jake's got a pretty big draw. He could catch a jack or a heart. And Paul's going to move all in.
It only looks like it's about $20 more.
Yeah, Jake's going to make the call.
Yeah.
34 more. 34
That's
more.
okay.
34.
All in.
If Paul loses this one, he's going to be down about, she's 7 or
A
8
lot,
hundred
yeah.
for the night already, in about an hour and a half.
All in.
So here we go. Heart or a jack, Jake needs. 6 of diamonds on the turn.
Black.
And the river is a 5. And King 10 escapes.
Are we going to see the card to win?
Of course,
You
Paul
have to
could have
show
filled up there as well.
Right.
Come over, yeah.
So King's up is going to take it down.
You still have to show 2 cards to win.
And that's a
Yes, he did. Did you? I don't know if you noticed that. He only flipped up one card and threw him in the middle. You're supposed to.
You know what?
So Paul
We're
almost
talking
killed
of-
his can.
He almost killed his hand, yeah, because
They pulled him out.
he only flipped up one card and threw him in the middle, and you have to show both cards and hold them. I mean, even if the one pair is good enough, you still have to show both cards.
I was trying them to show him.
But why take a chance?
You're not going to get a help on the other.
There's a Boston fan there in seat 6.
Exactly.
For you, Bart.
Red Sox.
He's a Boston fan.
The other cards. Yeah.
Both Sox.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, that's for your help.
Okay, I help everybody next time.
Couple of aces here. Ace Queen, Ace 9.
You know what? Done that earlier. Someone threw the cards. They went in the deck.
Russ is calling these players tards. Russ on 2+2.
He said it was my poker bankroll, but I didn't get lucky with these tards. Cutoff is going to raise here. 25 more.
If somebody objects,
Ace 9 of diamonds. And Tony, he's got Ace Queen, and he's going to make the call.
if it hits the mark. Did that hit the mark again? No. Not in this
Look
game.
at Ken's going to continue to drive here in position.
Because he could show 1 card and throw.
And Tony's looking at his stack here.
Or if it's any other
He actually does have the best hand, but he limped in. Ken raised it.
He reached one for me. That's why I say this. I can object to that.
And it looks like Tony's going to let it go. Playing a little conservative there.
Well, like you said, he only limped in, so
Right.
he's not going to get involved with it.
Right.
It also depresses the mood of the city. You know? It's not good for the table either.
Ken's sporting the LA Dodgers hat. Still grasping on to hope. I think they're not mathematically eliminated out of the NL West yet. It's amazing. One of the worst divisions in baseball history. The National League West.
First time
Is that a personal opinion?
I don't even drink.
I think it's pretty much a consensus.
Okay.
Consensus opinion.
Well, like I told you, I mean, I'm not a huge
Okay, I drink it if you buy it.
huge sports fan.
Raise.
Basketball, that's about it.
Give him another
Toto.
drink. Crazy.
I'm not a big bully. I don't have enough chips to be a bully. You can just put me right all in
Button's
right now.
got a Queen 9 off suit.
I'm committed.
Raised it up.
Ben,
Made it
I'm
45 to
committed.
go. And Ken is going to make the call with King 10 off suit, Shirley. Ace, deuce, 6, couple of clubs. And Ken bets.
At 50.
He bets right into the razor with absolutely nothing. And I don't think Ramsey's going to call here.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, of course. Time. No, you didn't see my hand?
Flush draw. Ace
Oh,
of
that's right.
That's flush
Yeah,
draw
yeah,
and
yeah,
inside straight draw. Can you put out 2 clubs, runner?
Well,
Can you help me out?
I guess it would be a raise or fold situation. If Ramsey knew what Ken held, he could raise and take it away from him.
I'm not
But
winning this hand. Nice
he's
hand.
going to fold. Ken takes it down. Good old Ken.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. Once I hit the mark, that's it. They can say that's that.
So we got a couple of seats open here at the Live at the Bike table.
Come on down. Bart, go out there.
Hop in the game.
You go hop in the game. Oh, you can't now. We've been watching it.
Yeah. Pocket Kings for seat 4. And he's in the big blind. That's Jake, who moved over to seat 4. And Ken brought this one in for a raise, again with ace rag. He made it ace 15 to go with ace 3 and seat 8. And the blind is going to raise it with kings to 60. And let's see what Ken does here. He's going to muck it. Ramsey made a call with 10-8 off suit. I wouldn't imagine that he's going to call here either.
I'm going to call.
He doesn't
he's
going to
call.
Are you kidding me? Wow. I mean, he's only
I think
got
they've
like
all lost their
75
mind tonight.
left. Well, kings against 8-10. Well, he's picked up a
gut shot here.
Shot. Jake moves all in.
All in.
Ramsey's calling.
Ramsey calls with a black gut shot, 8-10. He doesn't have diamonds. And he's going to need to spike a 9 or running cards. The turn is a queen. That's no help. And the river's a jack. And Jake's going to take it down with the kings.
Kings up.
Again, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And we've seen Ramsey play in the bigger games, so you wonder if thinks he's just kind of messing around here. But like they say, the best poker players play the same in all the games. And he's going to rebuy for 200.
All right, Mo. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, here we go. Mo's coming into the game.
Yeah, you got post 20.
Mo in seat 9.
20 to sit down at this time.
Oh, he'll do it. He'll go all in blind.
200, right? Yeah, blind 200. At 250.
Yeah, Mo.
Mo's going to liven the action up in this game.
Look at that.
I'm on.
He's got more than that. He's got 214.
You know you're not allowed to have any more than 200.
The action's on seat 1 here. He's going to muck.
This is a controlled game.
Because the kind of player he
C2 is limped in here with ace 9.
4 players.
And we've got 3 people here with weak aces.
Some money to you guys.
What should I do?
Queen, jack, 5 on the
You'll get
flop.
some money.
You can put it in here for deposit. It's done right there. Check.
Mo, I think you owe me about $20.
Gets checked around. The turn is a deuce. And the river's a 6. An ace 6 looks like he backs into the best hand. And he bets it. That's Cannon, and he's going to take it down without a call. Do you know why they call him Tony the Mailman?
Because he's a mailman.
Oh. I think so.
It is.
I guess so.
It is. He really is a mailman.
Okay. Seat number 5, new player, James Anderson. Going to come into the game.
He just wants to put that other money
If you
in.
don't look next time, I call.
Mo has come in and he's raised it to 40 under the gun, or in second position.
Next time you raise, if you don't
Queen
look, I
jack
call.
off suit.
Automatic.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Next time. Next time.
Yeah. I also wanted to suggest something.
Give me.
So the action's over there on Paul.
40 right here and.
Got ace 8 off suit.
All in.
Oh boy, he's going to come over the top with a weak ace. Ace 8. And Mo, he likes to give action at these types of tables.
All in.
But this is a hand. Hey, look at, is he going to call?
Is he tight player or loose player?
Depends how you look at it.
He's asking if it's tight, if the player's tight or loose.
You know, you're first at the
He's
table.
drunk. That's right.
Is he tight player or loose player?
Drunk. Right.
Drunk player. Oh, yeah.
He's going to lay it down.
Wow, you laid it down.
I'll tell you what, Mo. I'll show you one card.
That big. I had pocket 6.
Mo says he's got pocket 6s.
What can I say? Wasn't good enough.
Oh, man.
Thank you, Mo.
Every time I hear an Australian accent, I feel like I'm watching an episode of Lost, too. This guy in seat 3.
Is that a good show?
Yeah, the season premieres on tomorrow, I think.
Okay, look. I go
Survivor
to
started
battle
last
right
week.
now.
Yeah, I watched the first season of that like 5 years ago. I was kind of done with
And he
it.
can go triple.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
20 and then 40.
The girls kick ass. They had to do an 11-mile trek, and on one team, they had 5 guys, and 4 of the guys were down for the count. Throwing up, dehydrated. One of the guys, his eyes were rolling back in the back of his head.
If everybody agrees.
And the girls were just cool.
Why make it so boring?
Well, the girls are usually lighter and have a higher percentage of body fat, too.
Right. Well, and the guys were carrying a lot of the weight, carrying the rice and stuff like that.
Double straddle. Look, you and I will do it.
So Ramsey, I believe he's straddled. And James made it 25 to go with King Jack. He was posting. And Tony the Mailman's going to call. Mo calls. And it's over to the straddle spot. Ramsey. Let's see what he does. He's got deuce 9 of diamonds. Well, if he makes the call, a pot now is $125.
5 good players, Dale.
5 good players.
5 ways. Oh,
nice
all
flop.
hearts.
Nice
Tony
flop
the
for Tony.
Mailman, he flops a small flush and a straight flush. And Mo moves in with an open-ended straight draw on the 9 of hearts. And Tony has him right where he wants him.
Yeah.
That's not a good flop for King, Queen of clubs.
135.
And Tony's going to call. And Mo is
Drawn to a 4-5.
Yep. 4-5.
No, he's not. He's drawn dead. Because Tony has the 8. Mo doesn't even have the 8.
Yeah. Yeah, he's drawing
He's
dead.
drawn dead.
Black. All right.
Turns a 10, rivers a 10. Tony flopped the flush. And Mo is gone broke.
I love you, Mom. No, I love you. I said, you called? I'm dead.
And Mo said, once Tony called, I'm dead. And that was the case.
That's not fair.
No, but that's right.
I know.
Yeah, Moses always in.
No, he 5 bucks. Yeah. All in.
And Mo,
Did you look?
is Mo in the big blind?
Don't look, you're going to call me.
Did you look?
Did Mo in the big blind? How does he moved all in the big blind?
I got a $5.
He's
$8.
let's hope he's
He
kidding.
bought for 300. Again, we're wondering how Mo has moved into the all-in in the big blind.
Mo might be kidding around. Let's see what happens. I think he's saying he's going to go all in, but I think he can't act until it's his turn. So
Well, yeah, it certainly looks like he's in the big blind to me.
yeah, he can't act until it's his turn.
I wish I could get confirmation on that.
It's pursued. I got pocket pursued.
Hey, you beat me. I need ace on the bluff.
Most threatening to move all in to the players.
Okay.
So
that's
I
strange.
heard him there. He
Okay.
has pocket 9s there, and
That's the reason I put.
What do you mean he's threatened to?
He
He's got
just
all his
stuck his-
chips in there.
I know,
What
Bart.
does that
Haven't
mean?
you ever say I'm going to raise out of the blind? Well, you wouldn't, but
But
have
yeah, but you
ever
can't
seen?
put all your chips in there
You can
like
put
that.
them in, but they're not really live. I mean, it's not really considered a bet. When it gets to him, he actually has to make the move, declare the move.
So did he happen to just have pocket 9s there by luck?
Come on, guy. King Queen of Hearts, you call $300.
Anyways, he takes it down.
He was doing it for fun.
Okay. Okay. Looks like Tony's eating some pizza behind him.
It's just money for Mo. It's nothing.
One more time.
This is like a
One more time? Okay.
One more time.
Al. Good shot at Al.
I go. I wait for you.
Al gives a lot of action over at the stud high-low table these days.
Yeah?
He's been playing, yeah. It's definitely the type of table I want to be at.
Oh my goodness.
If he's in the game. Now, he seems to be a pretty solid no-limit player, but
4 players.
stud high-low, obviously a different game.
Yeah.
4-way action.
And I'm a Omaha high-low player, but I still, have I still struggle to grasp all the concepts of stud high-low. Well, especially I've only played it 3 times, I think. 4 after the party.
Ken has bet here on in position with top pair. He's going to bet 20. And he takes it down. There you go, Ken. Ken's kind of trucking along there.
Hey, how's that pizza? Real good?
Ooh, pocket aces. Those always look nice. Seat 6.
Did you order it this way?
That's Hugh. Haven't really heard much from him. He is eating. And he's going to raise it
You're
up.
young and skinny, you can handle it.
40.
Just one night.
He makes it 40 to go. Ken calls with a badly dominated hand normally. King, queen offsuit. And we're heads up. Aces against king, queen. $80 pot. If Ken hits a king or a queen here, he's in big trouble. And here we go. Queen, deuce, 6. Oh, look at this. Hugh's checked.
Oh, he's slow playing out of position.
Well, this is a little different.
I'm giving you a hard time.
60.
Ken has bet $60. Let's see what Hugh does here. And I would gotta say he's not gonna slow play. I think he's just gonna check raise. And Ken's not gonna be able to get away from this, I don't think.
No.
It was a $60 bet, and he says call. There you go. Turn is a 5. Oh, the river's a queen. Ken's caught trips, and he's gonna take it down. What a brutal beat.
Wow.
Brutal beat. Hugh can't believe it. Now, that's Russ McGinley-esque, I guess you can say.
Chip, please.
That's just too bad. Again, you can rebuy for 300 in this game. It just adds more chips to the game.
A little bit more money and I would not have.
Rack of yellow is $500. Oh, there's a good shot at Angie, one of the food servers here. Nice German lady.
Mo, have you looked at your
That's
car?
hilarious. I don't know. I know. You said nice. I don't know if anybody would refer to her as that. She is wonderful, but she just tells you like it is. She's got the greatest mouth on her.
Okay. No, I'm good. I got one.
Do you teach your kids like that?
She's oh, I love her because I love people like that. You know, that just speak their mind and say whatever they think. And
5-way action here. It's limped around.
that's why I'm a Barkley fan.
A what fan? Charles
Barkley.
Barkley?
40. Could be just blind.
Paul, I believe, has bet 30. Oh, it's Mo has bet 30 here with 8-9. He's got nothing, and he's going to take it down.
I showed deuce.
And he shows the bluff. 8-9.
You were bluffing. No. Is there a bottle of wine on this one again?
Can you be 9 high?
Okay, blank that please. This guy can't bluff anymore. Dude, then he can't play anymore. You have to throw him out.
Looks like our number 1 critic is mysteriously absent from the 2+2 thread this evening. Maybe he found, a backroom 5-card draw high, no limit game to play in. Pocket 9's over there for seat 4.
3 more hands.
Jake, he's going to raise it up. Makes it 40 to go.
He's coming over, Nicole.
That's a game we didn't play. I wanted to play 5-card draw high. They call that California draw here. It was one of the original games before Hold'em was legalized in California. That and low ball.
I don't know a lot of the games, you know.
Well, that's usually the first game. I mean, nowadays, I assume even if you're little, Hold'em's probably the first game you learn. But before the Hold'em craze, Isn't that like the first game you played? 5-card draw high? Normally it is, right? We play like
I
a
played
home game of poker.
7-card stud.
7-card stud? Okay, that too, but 5-card draw high. One of the original games.
Yeah, man. Hard to tell. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Yellow. 15.
Ken here, he's made it 15 to go with ace-7 suited. Mo calls with 6-7 offsuit, and there are 4 people in the hand with aces. Ace-Jack suited, ace-7 suited, ace-king offsuit, and ace-10. $90 pot to the flop. Mo's flop trips. 7-7-4.
So his
and
ace.
ace-7 is in there too.
That's Ken.
Now look at this. Ken was the original raiser. He's checked the flop. Mo is bet. Wow, Paul calls with ace-10. Ace-king calls.
They all have overcards.
4-7-7 on the flop. Now let's see what Ken does here. He's actually going to raise.
Not just raise, he's moving all in.
He's moved all in, and Mo is going to call.
Ooh.
And Mo's in trouble. Yeah. And Mo has 300 behind him, so, I mean, this is going to be over I mean, we're talking over an $800 pot here, it looks like. Turns a jack.
4-7.
And the river's a 3. And Ken's going to take it down there with trip 7s with an ace.
Ooh.
Just like that, Mo drops about 500.
And Mo's done. 500 is
500
chump
bills.
change. He's normally playing those big games.
Yeah.
He says, I can't play with these lunatics. I like to be the only lunatic on the table. Although there's a huge method to his madness. I mean, he's a great player. But
well, he's changed his
he
game
does
up.
portray
I mean,
that some.
remember, yeah, but he used to be action Mo, but now it seems like as the players have gotten weaker at the bigger levels, he just plays it more straight up.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason to really mix it up. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, we used to say that in unrestricted buy-in, no-limit games, if you play it straight up, you're not necessarily going to be a winner long-term, whereas you are a winner in this game. I tend to probably disagree with that over the last few months. I don't know how it is overall.
But
But,
in the larger, the $500 games, they're just so
I think
loose now
in the
that
10-20 no-limit game that we've seen, I think you can play that game straight up and win. You might not be able to win as much as if you mix it up, but before, when we had a really strong 5-10 game with good players, if you played that game straight up, I don't think you would win. This was back in February and March. But now, I wouldn't have a problem just playing kind of squeaky. Pocket kings for Ken. He's chosen to limp in seat 8, and he's not going to get the limp raise.
Yeah, he raises with ace-7 and gets all kinds of callers. Why not raise with the kings?
And the flop comes queen, jack 3, and somebody has queen, jack, and the question is he going to be good enough to get away from it? And it's Jake in
Ken?
seat 4. And Jake has, I believe, a lot of chips in front of him. And Kings is going to throw a feeler bet out here. He didn't get the raise in pre-flop.
I don't know if it's necessarily a feeler. I think he's actually thinking he's betting the best hand. Don't you think?
Well, let's see now. Now Jake's going to raise. So he didn't. It's an unraised pot. Can he get away from the overpair?
No.
You're saying no?
No, he can't.
109.
And look at this. He's going to re-raise to 190, and I'm sure the money's going to go all in here. Yeah. And it's just an overpair. It's an unraised pot. And he's going to need some help here. He could catch a 3, a king, or pair the turn card, obviously. And this is going to be a big pot that Jake's going to win, most likely.
Okay, needs 3 or a king.
I mean, I do that, Shirley. Sometimes I'll limp in with big pairs under the gun or in early position.
I wouldn't in this game.
But if I don't get, well, that's another thing. But I'm saying if I don't get the re-raise in there and I bet and somebody raises me on a board on a flop like this, you've got to let it go, right? I mean, unless you think the guy's capable of doing it with ace queen, but I just wouldn't get involved. Why would you want to risk so many chips on an unraised pot? So here we go. The turn's a queen, so Ken could still catch a king here to win. And the river's an 8, and Jake's going to take it down there with the full house.
Queen jack. You got 20 good hands.
Yeah. Lesson learned, I guess. Maybe not.
It's basically the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. Same
Yeah,
thing that
after
just
the start,
happened.
it was worst case chop. I figured
It
I
was the
won.
other way around. That Ken had won the pot with queens something. Made trip queens against aces, remember?
Yeah. King,
It's
queen.
played out a little bit differently, but
Yeah, right. Then you get the two.
Those are bad beats. 2 pair, kings and threes.
What am I going to do with kings?
Yeah.
I figured you for 2 pairs. But I figured if the board paired, then I got
Right.
you.
As long as the right pair.
But with that queen king, you knew.
I knew I was shot.
Yeah.
I was shot.
Unless the king give the ultimate bad beat.
Go ahead.
And we've seen this pot limped around here a bit. 4-way action. 8, 9, 10, rainbow.
I'm sure you have to set of threes or something.
Paul's got king 10 over there in C3.
Bet 15.
and they all have a little bit of it.
Well, Ken's
They
got
have a pair. They have straight draws.
Yep. Ken bets with the jack 9, 15.
Second pair
Well,
straight
yeah,
draw.
because,
I bet you all of them stay in
he was
here.
ahead of
Al
me, right?
calls,
In
Paul
position.
calls,
No,
and Hugh
35
calls.
I made a 90, and he made it 190.
And
I
Paul is in the lead
So on
right
the
now.
flop.
Now the
There's a
turn
six.
is a 6.
That gives the two players with the jack straight. Oh no, it
I mean, I
doesn't.
didn't
No,
want
but
to
it gives
It gives
Al
Al
the
the
straight.
straight.
45.
And Ken continues to bet here. And if you've ever have a 7, I would think that you'd want to raise here, and he's going to move all in.
Well, I mean, if you lose, you know.
It's like maybe for 100 total.
82.
80. So it's about, I want to say, $180 or $200 pot, and it's 80 to call. And how do you call this if you're Paul, Shirley? It's real tough. He's gonna make
You
a
just
call.
do it like that.
Jeez, King 10.
Stick
wow.
your chips in there and say I call.
Unbelievable. And let's see what Ken does now. Now the pot's getting bigger and bigger. Pot's now upwards of 300. And now when Ken makes the call, the pot's now upwards of 400. And there's going to be a side pot between Paul and Ken. But there's no way that Paul's going to make any more money off the hand on the side unless a card comes that's going to kill him, right?
Or a card, or unless he's already, right.
You know?
He could be already beat.
But I'm assuming he's just going to check it down on the side. Now here we go with the river. Heads up between Paul and Ken on the side. The river's an 8.
Oh, he first.
But there's probably not going to be any betting, and Al's going to
Right,
take the
they
entire
both
pot
checked.
down. Yep. So Al takes it all.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, I got 5 gallon
Yeah, that's nice.
Al's going to take it all.
Jack 9, yeah. So he was open-handed.
3 to 400 there.
Dangerous.
That's why I called it.
Right?
Either one, the 7 or the queen.
I went all in on the turn.
Ooh, it looks like there's a new player in seat 9. Ooh. Hello.
That's not seat 9, Isaac.
Hello. Okay.
We got all kinds of Boston
Seat
people.
9
He's
is
calling himself Boston.
Boston. Like the group. Like the city.
You show your age when you say they're a band,
My age?
right?
I'm 25.
I know, but
How old are you?
Boston's not around anymore. I'm not saying I'm younger than you are.
Are they not around anymore?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Isaac will know. Isaac knows everything.
Can you land my hand?
I was never a huge Boston fan.
No.
Boy, how lazy can you be?
After you do mine, practice his.
I remember when I used to listen to Chicago on my old record player when I was a kid. That you'd have to turn the bass down because their songs would bust out your speakers.
You can do that. You can go to Circus.
But I don't really know that much about Boston.
You know, my friend, he's really good at the... You know that bowling game? How you go over the hump?
over the hump.
You see people spin it, right? That's the secret right there. To spin it, and then it just goes over and it stays there. Yeah.
Meanwhile,
You know, he actually got the security when we were
25.
younger.
Kev Mathis said that Jive Dadson's actually,
Someone wants to take our $5 chips.
I think he's away for a couple weeks.
Busy.
That's right. He said that there was some good news, I remember, from a couple of shows ago. He said he was leaving for 2 weeks.
He's the old and new sheriff.
Looking for somebody to fill into his spot, but no one's really
What, to
stepped
rag on
up.
us?
Yeah. Looks like there's a raise there to $20.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
That's right. You just did a moneymaker on TV.
And we're going to see four-way action.
4 play.
Queen, 7-5, couple of hearts. Al and Paul have the best hand with the same hand, Queen Jack.
With Chan and
But look at this. Ken's going to come out and bet on the button. $50 in position.
Letter.
Al check calls.
He sat there. Didn't understand that he had cards. Started to fold now.
And Paul's going to move all in.
All you can eat.
Looks like maybe 200 more. It actually puts Al in a tough spot, don't you think, Shirley?
Yes, I do.
I mean, the pot's laying probably... Well, there was 140 in there before. I can't imagine Ken's going to call. Now he makes it 200 more.
160.
The pot's probably 340, and he's going to have to call 150. That's probably what the equation is over to Al. And... I mean, he only has Queen Jack here. Getting a little over 2-1 on his money. But, you know, Paul could easily have 2 pair.
He could have a flush draw. I mean, a big re-raise like that sometimes is a semi-bluff. So
Yeah, sometimes, but, you know, the funny thing is that watching this game more and more, especially at the lower limits, and obviously we can see what the cards are, we haven't seen anyone do that tonight, and I haven't seen anyone
not
do
tonight.
that for a while.
I do it.
Oh, yeah, you do it. But normally, I mean, it is kind of an advanced move that, you know, you have to give credit to. I mean, the guy just turned over King 10, remember, that call before with that board? So I don't necessarily say he's got a flush draw. But this really does put Al in a tough spot. There isn't a whole lot that you can beat here. Well, he's going to make the call. Now, Paul actually has a free roll because he's got a backdoor heart draw with his Queen of Hearts. And there's one of the hearts. Both players have made 2 pair. Oh, they're going to chop
it up.
2 pair. Oh, same hand. That's what I thought.
You know, Al said that's what I thought. How do you put somebody on Queen Jack when the flop comes Queen High and you have Queen Jack in your hand? Again, it doesn't really make a lot of logical sense to me, but hey,
he's good.
It's just me. Of course, the reason being because you're sharing the same cards, much less likely.
It's very
for him
yeah.
to put that. I mean, I think he just said he put him on that hand. I don't know. Strange. I got to say one thing about Jive Dadson. I don't remember if... Actually, I don't think you were at the party yet, but there was a discussion about a hand with Mo, and I don't necessarily want to get into it in depth that much, where he had, I think we told you about it, where he had aces, and there was a 4-liner to a straight on board, and Ed made a bet into him on the turn. And Mo said that he called because he knew that Ed would run it 3 times. He thought Ed had 2 pair, and he would run it 3 times. And there was a good chance that he would win one of those times, so that he would win some of his money back in the pot. And, you know, Dave and I had gotten into discussion over the weekend, and I was telling Dave that I don't see how that changes the expected value at all. And it doesn't change the expected value at all. And Friar Tuck had written up about that, and Jive was real quick to catch it and was hard on him. And then, we tried to explain it last night, and then Dave and I had a discussion about it after the show last night, and he realized that it doesn't. Because I think that he had made a statement saying that, well, if you run it Dave made a statement saying if you run it 3 times, you're going to have positive expectation, because it's more about a 50% chance you're going to win it 1 out of the 3 times. But then I told him, and other people pointed out, that it does not change the expected value running the cards multiple times. This is, of course, when we're talking about the no-limit game. When you chop the pot up and you run the cards multiple times to decrease the variance. If it's a good call to run it once, then it's a good call to run it 3 times. If it's a bad call when you're running it once, then it's a bad call to run it 3 times. We've got 4-way action here.
Boston's flop 2 pair.
Is that like Boston Rob on Survivor?
He's nothing like him.
Boston Rob played in the World Series last year, didn't he? Boston's going to move all in here. He got checked to him in position.
He played the 2004 World Series.
Yeah.
I looked for him this year. I didn't see him.
Amber's quite a cutie.
Yes, she is.
Oh, wow. Ramsey's going to call with ace jack of diamonds.
That's horrible.
You said it, not me, but I'm thinking what you said. I don't. Again, and we didn't really say him play like this at the higher level.
Well, you know, like you said, he could just be messing around.
Yeah. And Boston's in pretty good shape here. Because Boston has diamonds as well, so if Ramsey was trying to hope to get backdoor diamonds, Boston has
I think he was
those.
thinking an ace, a jack, or a 3.
Well, here we go. There's a jack.
Oh, I knew that was going to happen.
And the river is a deuce.
He's rewarded.
And jacks and deuces is going to win.
Yes, it is.
That's unbelievable. Oh, my goodness.
Look how many
wow.
outs are out there. Just look at this hand. Look how many outs.
See, I think he thought any ace, any jack, or any 3. Little did he know that, you know, he had to, had to make
Turn
2 pairs.
comes jack, and the board pairs deuce at the end. He could have caught a deuce, a jack, or an ace to win the hand, or a 3, actually.
Right.
He got a lot of outs on the river. But that's
But he
incredible.
called when he didn't have a lot of outs.
No. Wow.
He called when he had ace high.
Yeah, of course. Right.
Thank you, buddy.
Absolutely incredible.
That's your tip. 25 was my promise. No, I tipped him 2.
Yeah, I was earlier on. I was pointing out I had went to one of the sites doing the live updates on Borgata. They've also posted here on 2+2 that some of the girls are in it. I don't know if you noticed. That's what I was trying to tell you, Bart.
Yeah,
but,
I did. I saw that.
Cloney's was in there. Evelyn was in there, and Kathy Liebert. Go Kathy! I love Kathy. Barry Greenstein is still in. They have a long way to go, though.
It's, what is it, the second day, the third day?
I believe it's what's today? I believe it's the second day.
Second day.
Yes. So they still have a long way to go.
Porter.
You know why I won? Because I told them that I'm going to give you...
Well, something just popped in my head that I was going to say, but I'm not going to say it. Ha! Actually, I will say it. It's nice to get sponsored by companies that will let you put you into
He knows
tournaments.
what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. If he
You know,
likes
I wish I had that kind of scratch.
You should be nice to the dealer, always. Did you give him if you're
We've
nice,
got a
you
couple
win.
of limpers.
Who's it up to?
And Ramsey is on the button.
30.
And he's going to raise it up to 30
I
with
barely
ace
looked at
queen.
my hand, barely. I'm not sure what I have.
And James is going to call with jack 10 of clubs.
3 plays.
And here comes the flop, queen 7-6.
Porter.
You first?
Yes.
Porter.
25.
Ken is going to bet 25. He's got a gut shot straight draw. And Ramsey's got ace queen. So Ken is bet in with a draw here. And I believe the action is on Ramsey with the ace queen. And he's going to raise it up.
120.
James quickly mucks jack 10.
You say 120.
125. He's got 25, right? I made it 120.
And let's see if Ken wants to gamble here.
I added 100 to it, basically.
$25 bet makes it 125 to go. And I'm going to assume that Ken is probably going to muck here, surely. But it's interesting that Mel Judah actually was saying the same thing to me when he was in here for the ladies' night last week, that tournaments are really getting so frequent and so expensive that unless you have some sort of big sponsorship or have a lot of money from whatever source, whether it's you're a good pro game, cash game player, or I don't know, you've inherited money or you have money from a different. I mean, we see players that have money like Paul Phillips, right?
Yes.
Stock and I think that, and I don't know, don't quote me on this, but didn't Jennifer Harmon inherited a lot of money and then she started getting better and better as she grew a big bankroll?
That's what I heard.
Yeah, it's just,
I don't know for sure.
It's it's very difficult to play a lot of tournaments. $10,000 tournaments, right? Who can afford to go and put up?
Do it 20 times a year.
Yeah, I mean, you really need sponsorship and.
If you do, I give you $5.
And again, I just thought
If it doesn't fix
I find it amazing that Cloney, Gowan, and Evelyn Ng, I mean, two very nice people. Cloney's been on the show before. Have I mean, they really had sponsorship now for 2 years just because of here at the bike from the first season.
It was
at
here.
The WPT.
time.
37 oil.
They're nice girls. They're nice girls to look at. That's a good reason for a sponsor to
obviously.
put. Yeah.
$37 all in. Looks like somebody's moving in here.
75 total.
You did. I was going to call. Well, because I gave him a bad beat, I'm going to give him protection.
And I believe Boston's moved all in for 37, and Ramsey has re-raised to 75 with ace-10. It's over to Tony the mailman. He's got king-10 of clubs. Now, a raise all in or re-raise, I wouldn't imagine that Tony's going to call.
No.
And he's not. And Ken is out of there. And Ramsey's in the lead here with the ace-10.
Good luck, sir, and I really
Boston's
mean
going to need some help.
Thank you.
I'm serious.
I appreciate it.
I am serious.
I don't have much.
I am serious.
So I guess Boston did a short buy, Shirley, in
Good luck.
between. Oh, he's picked up top pair. Ramsey also has a pair.
How do you look now?
Oh,
Ramsey
turns
has
an
two.
ace.
Needs
Boston
a jack.
has a straight draw as well, and he gets it. King on the river.
You got it at the river, my friend.
Yeah.
Wow. I really meant it.
I know this. I know you got it. Good. Thank you. I know the ace killed.
No, it was only
I do also want to point out, I've never played with them on the same table, so I don't know. They might be great players.
I had it on the turn.
Well, and I don't know enough to talk about their play. I'm just looking at tournament results. That's all.
Yes.
Compared to some other people that have sponsorship because, like an Alan Cunningham or something like that, or now Mark Safe or Negreanu, where it appears like it's more about results with those guys. With the difference, but I mean, obviously, poker and promoting website it has to do with entertainment, and it's an added value that those women are good looking, and that those companies want to have them represent their product. So, I mean, it's that way in a lot of different industries, not just poker,
That's right.
That's the problem.
Oh, so now we can't do it?
We both could lose now.
Yeah. Well, I better look.
Next time, if you go all in, I'll call you.
And seed 8 here is raised with ace king offsuit.
Shall we give him a call?
Boston is going to muck here. It looks like it was a raise to maybe 35.
I'm going to give you one loose call. This is just because I did that one time. One loose call. Next stop, all in. Dealer, you get $25 if I win.
And he's going to get called here by Ramsey with 7-10 of clubs.
Well,
so it looks like we're heads up, ace king against 7-10. And 7-10 has the best hand right now.
I'm all in.
And Ramsey's going to move all in. Ken checked.
The next stop.
I know, I heard you say that. That's why I checked.
I'm going to show you hand one more time. Okay? I'm not going to show hands after this.
Do that too. Do the two.
He shows 7-10. Don't really know what the purpose of that is, but
no.
He did have the best hand on the flop.
Well, he said he's not going to show any more hands, so
Okay.
let them think that he's playing some crazy
What did I
hands.
tell the dealer?
Yep.
25. I told the dealer I'm going to give 25, and this is your tip.
Wow, that never fails.
You know, in 1/2 hour session, I gave one dealer $125.
Plus tip.
Just tip.
No, plus tip.
Well, tip I
probably
do
won,
it
like,
anyway.
you probably
Tip I
won
do it.
1,000.
Tip I do it anyway.
So the button now is in seat 5.
Dealers love me.
James Anderson,
What are we doing?
seat 5. Haven't really heard much
Nobody
from him.
knows.
And
How much do you
Paul
have?
over there in seat 3's picked up American
Let's go.
Airlines,
Whatever it is, let's go.
Pocket Rockets, whatever you want to call them. Best starting hand in
Aces.
Texas Hold'em.
There you go.
87.
You're all in? Well, it's up to you. He's calling. Just remember that. He's a tough cookie.
Hey, if you guys
He's
want
the
to
toughest
look,
cookie.
he's limping under the gun. I
Make
better
sure
look.
he's not calling first.
There's a couple of limpers here in front.
Time, please.
King Queen there for Ramsey. He's going to limp. Al's got a suited connector. 4-5 of spades. He limps. And now the action's over to those fellas. And he's going to raise it up. Makes it 40 to go.
35 more.
So it's 35 more to call.
35 more.
If you want to know what he's got pocket nines. That's what he has right now.
Ramsey's still in there with the King Queen. I
bet you
believe the
$10
action's
he's
over to
got
him.
pocket nines. Maybe pocket eights. 10 hardly.
But he's talking a lot tonight.
He
isn't
is talking a lot.
Yeah.
Well, he just started, didn't he? About the last 15 minutes.
That way, that means if you think long enough. Call if I call.
They all have bicycle club hats on. Look at them.
You don't have to say it. You don't have to say it.
I mean, this sometimes gets me a little irritated at the table because it slows the game up. It's like, come on,
I expect you to
act.
say something.
Do you know what I mean?
Whatever it is, you're gonna say.
That sounds like an online player to me.
Does he know the action's
He
on?
says
him?
I call.
Okay, he says I call. And that's going to bring Al in there.
Next up,
I like Al's hand a lot more than Ramsey's.
Yes.
Next up on it.
And here we
But I'm
go
gonna
with the
check
flop.
first to see what you do.
Oh, that's a bad beat hand right there.
10-8 deuce.
Where's the
Couple of diamonds.
Like I said, I check first, then all in. Check.
And Ramsey's threatening to check raise all in.
Check or all in.
No, I'm all in.
And now Paul moves all
Are
in.
you sure?
For it looks like about 230
Call that, can you?
or so. Into about a $130 pot, so he's not messing around.
But I don't like that for Paul.
Yes.
Ramsey's sitting here saying he was going to check move in, which he also said on the last hand with Kin, and he did manage, and he did do it. So why not put $40 and see if Ramsey moves in?
Try to
Is
put
he-
like a weak bet in there, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully Ramsey will follow through with what he's saying and move all in. I mean, that's not that dangerous of a board when you're holding the ace of diamonds in your hand. You feel a lot better about a possible flush. You know, someone sticking around for a flush.
Or flush. Ace, king, diamond.
I never lie.
Ace, jack,
I never
diamond.
lie.
All right. I fold.
You know what I
Yeah,
say?
and they're both
He
out.
who dares.
May I? Show hand, because I showed 3 times. I expect you to show.
He shows one card
Show the
again,
other
this
one.
guy. Maybe it's just amusing to me, but he's flipped up one card the last 3 or 4 times he showed the hand. Shows the ace.
Maybe pocket ace. Who knows? We'll find out later.
One on each.
I'll find out later.
Kev Mathis said
This is the time to do it.
the group Boston toured last year in support of their 5th album in their almost 30-year career.
Show my chips over there.
One album every 6 years.
Yeah.
They're whipping them out.
I assume that's because they broke up for a while in the 80s or 90s or something and came back.
I did. That ruined it. Sorry.
And Boston here has moved all in, again, short. 87.
Not this time.
Ace-7 offsuit. And seat
Maybe next
5. That's James. He's got pocket queens. So, and Jake's got ace-10 here. Is he going to make the call? I mean, you don't make calls with ace-10 for a raise of 40. Why would you call it for 87?
Well, you don't.
No, but I don't think Jake had necessarily been playing that either, though. Ace-10 off.
Well, he hasn't made the call yet. Let's see. Looks like he's going to, though.
Because he's big blind,
I don't call with ace-10 neither, but I've seen plenty of players that would call with ace-10.
Most overvalued hands at Hold'em. He's going to muck. And James is going to put the rest of his money in with queens. And we can see that 3 of the aces are dead. So Boston's going to have to catch chip sevens or the case ace here.
You don't have an ace, I got a chance.
He has a pair.
Ken had an ace in seat 8. Jake had an ace in seat 4. And queens is a gigantic favorite over this hand now.
Queens. Jacks or queens? Queens.
Queens against ace 7.
How can you not read that hand?
There's one of the
How
sevens.
can you not read that hand? Ace 10. So I've drawn that.
Turn is a 9. Oh, wow. River's a 6. Queens is going to hold up.
Nice hand.
Nice.
And Boston is... Looks like he's down and out.
Yes.
Going back to the
Packing
big,
it
going
in
back to the
later.
big dig.
Yeah, I had ace 10.
I don't know if I would name my kid Boston, but people say.
It's a cool
I don't know if I
nickname.
would name my kid Bart either, so I don't really have much to say about it.
Blind, please. Big blind, please.
I got the lame end on that one. My sister has a nice name. I got named after my grandma. I have an old lady's name.
If I had something like...
It's your big blind, sir.
I know you know.
Here we go with the chip count. Tony the mailman's got 600. He hasn't won a lot of pots. Did he come into the table with 200? I wonder.
Yes.
'Cause- Oh, he did come into
Yes.
the table with 200, because if he was coming from a must move, he could bring more. But
Yeah, no.
So he's up 400. And
Look at the way these chip stacks. I mean, we've really gone through some players over here because
yeah.
we had a lot of chips, and they're kind of, filtering out.
Well,
new,
Andre
new
took a
players
lot of the
are
chips
coming
off
in.
the
Right.
table. Remember, he was up to like 1,800 and took it off the table.
And then we also had the player in seat 9 earlier, Ratana. Was
Yeah.
it him? He had a lot, too. He
Yeah.
had like 1,300, I think, when he left.
Yeah, hit and runs. Hit and runs.
Yeah, so... That's not why I do it.
Don't spend all my money in one place. Okay?
Is that Boston coming back? Oh, no, Boston's done. Boston's done.
I'm going to put out $3. Go back.
Thank you.
Looks like... So we've got a seat open there now in seat 9. Rolling into the last, 40 minutes or so live at the bike. Not much in the way of hands here.
5 minutes.
Pocket 6 is over there for Hugh in seat 6, and he flops a set. Just like I knew it was coming. 6, 7, 9. Now Tony's got 9-5. He's got top pair and a gut shot.
You don't have none of that.
Hugh's gonna bet.
25.
I think that's almost a mandatory bet there in late position with that board. He bets 25. Tony calls.
Remember 7 deuce? He flopped 3 deuces?
Now Tony would need to catch an 8 here.
Bro, can I have one of your waters?
He's actually in really bad shape, or a running combination of cards. Paul's got an open-ended straight draw. There's a couple of spades on board, so let's see if he chases. Yeah, he's going to make the call here, too, it looks like. Now the pot's about $110. The turn's a 5, and that gives Paul the straight. It's a one-liner.
It's Tony 2 pair, and
Yep.
he has set.
Wow, and it gets checked to Tony, and he's going to bet it.
40.
He bets 40. He's going to bet 40 here in position. Paul has the straight.
At about 90.
About 90? All right.
And Paul is going to check raise.
Raise.
And boy, Hugh, he's on the short stack here. There's only one card to come,
100.
but he's out. Wow, Tony calls. He's going to call with the 2 pair.
He made it 100. He made it 100.
Just make 100.
Check raised, and he calls with 9-5. Got about a $350 pot here to the river. The river is a 10. And it gets checked down because it's a third spade there, Shirley. And Paul's going to take it down there with the straight. 10 high straight.
If he doesn't catch his...
New player coming into seat 9, Dimitri.
Dimitri, you playing with us too? Hey, no cell phones on the table. You're not allowed to play.
So Dimitri's coming into the game there?
It's too little for you.
Into seat 9?
Okay, I'm done. Seat open.
All right. Have a good one, sir.
All right, man. See you guys.
Sporting the Poker Blue cap. Again, you can join us tomorrow night for Poker Blues Whale Game, starting at 6 o'clock Pacific time.
Set to you.
Make it 25.
25.
$25 raise.
I like my hand 5 times more than you like yours.
20 more.
$20 more here. Dimitri, he had posted, I believe, had the ace-4 offsuit. Hughes got 5-8 of diamonds.
Show me one ace, please.
I have a pair. Pocket pair.
Me too.
And he's going to muck it. Looks like Dimitri's going to muck it.
When you look like this, looks like
And Ramsey takes it down.
looks like this, right? Looks like aces, right?
Oh, look what you did. You made him mad. Not so good.
Thank you.
On the big hands, you get good money if I win.
Holy cow, I haven't played with Dimitri.
So you got any Omaha tournaments you're going to play in coming up here, Shirley?
Yes, here at the bike.
Big
There-
October with a K?
Right. Big Poker October. And there are 2 Omaha tournaments, a $200 and a $300, both on Friday nights.
Are we having fun yet?
Month is around the 9th or something. 7th.
You're not having fun, you're not doing it right.
September 30th and October 7th.
Poker Blue, 12,000 guaranteed.
No, I haven't even opened an account for Poker Blue yet. I played online twice in the last month and a half.
I don't think you can beat that. Only
I always look forward to the Bellagio tournaments in December, too. They usually have one. So I don't know if the schedules come out for that one. But I usually make it down there. Normally I'll play one of those and one no limit. I'll go down for about 4 days.
When you're short-handed, maybe you don't have to. Oh.
56.
And this one's going to get chopped down here.
Maybe it's too small blind, small blind. Big blind, please.
Ooh, looks like Hughes taking a shot there, seat 6.
Make him land exactly here.
Somebody check that guy's ID.
You make him land. No.
My goodness.
This way. Make him land this way. Almost. Look at this. Almost.
Queen 10 of clubs there for Dimitri in seat 9. He's going
I'm
to
not
limp
going to
in.
raise. I'm not even going to look at my.
Ken is limped in with ace 9.
No look. I'll look later.
And we're going to see a pot here 7 ways.
That's gotta be one of
$35
those, huh?
pot.
Maybe 5, 6.
874. Rainbow.
Time.
No one has. Oh, Ramsey's got an 8.
Yes.
Anna got shot 6-8. And he's going to bet $50.
Does he have that shot? Yes, he does. Why?
And I'll bet $10 he's not going to call.
Now, Paul, he's got second pair.
Do I get it if I call?
Anybody wants
Do
to
I
take
get
the
it?
bet?
Do I get it if I call?
I'm betting $10 that you're not going to call.
Yeah, but I get it if I call though, right?
Yeah.
I want you to call. I want somebody else to win $10.
Okay, I'll bet. I think I bet.
And Ramsey's goading once again. He's goading.
Donna, you heard him.
The
He
master
said
of
he
the
takes.
goad.
This is a verbal contract.
You know what? I'm not going to call.
I know you're not. I bet $10 you wouldn't. And I dare anybody else to call now.
Can you send the raise?
Paul lays
Let's
it
go
down.
all in.
Well, you got 5-6.
Tony's got
If he
a
goes all
pair
in,
of
I'm
sevens
calling.
also.
Seed 9, that is.
Only C9 though, right?
Only seed 9.
C7 goes all in, you probably fold.
Seed 7 goes
I don't know
all in,
why
I'm
he's
gone.
thinking so long with a limped
With the
pot.
win.
That's a new look for him. He's got the toothpick in the mouth.
I wonder if he knows it's his. Yeah, of course he's got. He must know it's his turn.
If anybody can beat me, he's the only one right now.
Okay, let me call the computer room over there. See what you got.
Tell him you have a
Yeah, he's
problem.
mugged.
Tell him you have a problem.
Show.
Dimitri
Gambling
mugged.
problem. You don't know if you're going to call or you're not going to call. I showed 4 times already.
And now Ramsey is not going to show this time.
Donna.
Ooh, look at that. Is that
No, she would catch
kimbap
it.
ribs?
We've been
Korean
practicing
delicacy
for a long
here at
time.
the bike.
Hey, what is
Nothing like that Korean barbecue from Southern
I
California.
haven't had that.
Really? You strike me as a type that doesn't try a lot of exotic foods. Straight up, chicken and french fries type girl.
Donna, they're recording my food.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I guess kind of. I mean, I will.
I mean, I've seen
try
some of the
food.
looks sometimes you give me when I eat like that cipino, which is like a fish stew here they serve. Or
Yeah,
Mike when I
I'm
have
not-
cold fish platter.
I'm not a real, I don't really care for fish much.
Yeah.
But like I've gone to, Indian restaurants and stuff like that, and I'll try the food.
You don't have to remind
Yeah.
everybody because some of these people don't even
Well, Korean barbecue is quite something to try. Very good.
Everyone on this side that heard me.
8-3-5 here. A couple of spades.
The bogey? The bogey? Bogey.
20s.
Ken is going to bet here with top pair, Jack 8. Paul has an 8 also, so you might see some play on this hand.
Time, please.
And he's been
Ramsey.
playing a lot more wild than he normally plays. Oh wait, that's Ramsey. He doesn't have anything.
Yeah, Ramsey's going to bet Paul. Eating a salad. He's got top pair. He makes the call. Oh, the turn is another 8, and now both players have trips. And Ken checks. I just, it's so funny because I just don't see how I would ever check that from up front. And he's going to
Chris.
check raise.
I don't know why they're not throwing their blue chips in
And
there.
Paul is in there. We're going to see another huge pot. And the jack kicker plays right now. And the river is a queen. And 3 8s with a queen jack is going to be good there.
And he just missed out on $6. Oh yeah, now you're going to stick it in?
Oh, the blues?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he did, if he said
That's
all,
just cheesy.
if he said all in, I guess it counts as all in.
Yeah, if he lost it, he
Let me
wouldn't
ask
be.
you a question here. Keep that board up for a second. Again, this is me going through the hand in your head. If I bet out on Jack 8, okay, and a guy smooth calls me, and the turn is now an 8, when would you ever check that? It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, the guy could easily be on a straight or a flush draw. Why would you want to give him a free card to get there? It
Right.
doesn't make any sense. Now, in this case, he was just lucky that he had the best hand anyways. Both players had an 8. But do you think that a guy is going to bet his draw there on the turn to give you the ability to check raise if he doesn't have an 8? I mean, it just smells. You know what I mean? I mean, even if a guy had a pair of 5s, you probably wouldn't bet on that spot. Again, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But that's just me. That's just me. We've seen a lot of strange things happen tonight here on the game.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm really stunned by Ken's play all around. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's one more thing to make me reconsider my opinion about his play. Before he sat down here.
Pocket queens here, seat 5. He had doubled through Boston, and he's picked up queens again. But look at Paul in seat 3. He's got a weak ace, and he makes it 15 to go with ace 4.
Is it a move? Is some kind of move? We shall find
And
out
he's,
now.
C5's played it pretty solidly.
We shall find out right
He's going to
away.
re-raise.
Well, he committed himself already.
He makes it
committed.
60 to go. Dimitri's got ace-jack. He's not deep enough. Obviously out
I
of
don't think he'll
position.
call.
I think he's just, pondering. I don't think he calls with ace-queen in that spot.
This is highly weird.
Ramsey's got 6-8 suited. He's not going to come in.
Oh, it was a show.
And now Paul shows a 4. Shows a
You
4.
scared him into betting.
And again, I mean, there are different reasons to raise, obviously, but usually raising has a purpose. Now, if I've got $85, which apparently Paul had there, I'm raising to $15 with ace-4. Why? I have to ask myself why, because I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know the answer to it. And I'm saying normally you want to raise because there's a reason why you're raising.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are you raising so that if you hit your ace, you've put more money in the pot on a hand that you don't even know is good?
I think he's raising because a lot of players overvalue their aces, and if they're going to come in the pot, they want to come in raising. So, you know, we don't like the ace rags, but plenty of new players like the ace rags. They haven't been taught that lesson yet. So.
And again, I'm trying to actually do a little, trying to critique my own broadcasting thing, because this is what Barry Greenstein told me about our commentating sometimes, as we sometimes say. Why did he do that? And Barry says he actually tries to never say that rhetorically, because he actually tries to figure it out. So I am trying to figure that raise out.
Yeah.
Trying to work through it. King, King 7 here on the flop. Checked around, turn is a 6. Looks like Ramsey's going to take a stab at it. And he's going to take it down.
Now, I'll tell you, if I'm in early position and I have ace-4 suited, which is one of the hands that I do play, if I'm going to come in, I probably would come in for $15. So just because I want to build, you know, I want to put a pot builder bet in there, but not scare enough people out to where if I hit my hand, I'm going to get paid a lot of money. Ace-4 suited. Suited aces and small pairs. I'll either, well, once in a while I'll limp, but usually I'll put in a small raise because I want a pot builder, small enough to where there's still 3, 4, or 5 people in the pot.
Okay.
So that might be why. I know you wouldn't play suited ace in an early position, but in no limit I do. In limit I don't. I dump them.
Well,
but in no limit I play them.
Well, I didn't necessarily say I don't play suited ace. I mean, yeah, maybe.
Well,
I don't
you
play a lot
won't
of
in
positions
early position. Yeah, you don't.
But
you
that
don't
guy,
like
I mean, he was in mid position. But the point I'm trying to make was, I mean, he only had like 70 left.
Yeah.
So he's on a short stack, and that's. I mean, you got. I think a lot of players don't take into account how much money they have in their stack.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the issue. I mean, am I going to raise 20 to 25% of my stack with ace-4 to a $15 when I'm on the short stack? Just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. This pot is limped around, and we've got multi-way action.
It's not your fault. Look,
Ace-3, 8 here on the flop. Dimitri's got ace-9. He's got the best hand. And seat-9.
You did? Thank you.
Does he know what he's doing?
And Dimitri's going to bet $30.
When you bid on the bond, you know what you get. You get rear-ended.
I had a pair. The small one, the little one.
Bigger than mine.
Hugh's got pocket 4s.
He is a pro, yeah. You gotta watch this guy.
I think he's going to try to pick his spots a little better. I don't know if he knows Dimitri, but Dimitri's played pretty straight up.
From where?
You think so? I think Dimitri's pretty wild.
Well,
I'm fresh off the plane.
He plays it pretty straight up when he's short chipped when he just enters the game, though. I think. I don't think I'd call here at pocket 4s. He's going to do it. He's going to make the. Well, actually, he's going to go all in, and Dimitri's going to call. And Hugh would need to catch running spades, a 4, or a running straight. Well, the turn is a jack. And the river's a 6. And Hughes going to go bust. Uh-oh. Did Tony the mailman ask to see his hand, Shirley?
I think he did.
What are you going to do? Go and run out and smack him?
I will have a talk with him after the show.
It's already on the camera, so.
He did. He asked to
He
see the
did.
hand.
I really like Tony, too.
You liked past tense.
I used to like him.
I know, but if you're in the hand, ask Donna for one.
Well, it is a rule that you can use. I don't personally like to do it, but
No, I don't personally like to do it. And I know I can't control it, and it's something I get mad over there.
yeah.
And I shouldn't, but I do. It drives me nuts.
It's on you, buddy.
Let me have a free ride. I want my $3 back.
Pocket Queens over there in the small blind. That's Al.
That's seat number 2.
Yeah. Buttons in seat 1. And Ramsey has pocket 6s. And I have a feeling he might try to raise it up here on the button, just from the way that he's been playing tonight. He's been pushing it a little bit. Let's see what he does. Yep. And he's going to make a pretty hefty raise here, it looks like. 45.
45.
Well, now, Al, there's a couple ways to play this, Shirley. I sometimes might smooth call here because thinking that I might know exactly what Ramsey has, hoping that the other people behind me are going to go out. Because it screams like Ramsey has like pocket 9s or pocket 8s. And you try to trap him, but he's going to re-raise it, and obviously that's not bad in this game. There's nothing wrong with playing it straightforward. And as we can see, Tony might have called with all those chips from behind him if Al had smooth called Queens. And again, people might say, well, what are you talking about, Bart? You always preach fast play, fast play, fast play. Well, if you can specifically put a guy on a hand because he makes a big raise like that screams, I've got pocket 7s or pocket 8s, and I want to take it heads up with him with kings, queens, or aces, I might sometimes do that.
That's right, I got Dimitri here. Dimitri, come on back.
So the re-raise by Al, and Ramsey
I
called.
like your hand better than my hand.
Uh-oh, and the flop comes 3-4-5, so Ramsey's got an overpair, no open-ended straight draw. Al moves all in, and Ramsey
I
calls.
don't want to see his hand.
And here we go.
You're not gonna
The
win
turn
it.
is an 8.
Put a deuce
Ramsey
out there.
needs
Put
a deuce, a 7, or a 6.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh, and the river's a deuce. And he's got the straight. And he takes down quite a bit. It's about $350 of Al's money, so about a $700 pot.
Look how well Alan took that, or Al. He just said nice
Because
hand.
he might have a 9.
Gets his money. Gets.
You know what I mean? He
Rebuy.
might have a 9.
Why you didn't ask for 6?
Chips, please. Thank you.
Donna. Wow, nice catch. This takes a lot of practice.
For stacking chips?
No, practice.
And Al's going to buy back in for $300. Here we get a new chip count. Now, Al, I guess he was at 200. I thought he had a little more at the beginning of that hand. But now he's at 300. Dimitri's got 350. And Ramsey, when he adds, he's got over 1,000 now, probably right around 1,000. So Ramsey is the chip leader. Hugh and Paul pulling up the rear.
If you don't look. No looking. She said, do I have to look?
I didn't look.
Me either.
I let them play.
You have a good hand?
New player there in seat 4.
Yeah, 6 would have been.
We have a girl.
Yeah.
Let's see what's up. Itsy bitsy.
Pot is limped around.
There's itsy, there's bitsy, there's shit.
9-6-4 rainbow on the flop. Tony's got ace-9. He bets 15. Ramsey's got an open-ended straight draw. He makes a call on seat 1, it looks like.
Did you look?
Still don't want to play. It's too much. 20 to call.
Oh, you should look.
You really should. It helps.
Poker players don't
It always helps.
2 players.
The turn is a 10. Tony's going to bet again.
played this before.
Well, I played my.
Now, if Ramsey had 7-8, he would have made a straight here. New player in seat 4, his name is Lily. Looks like Ramsey's going to muck the straight draw.
Long time ago.
I take all kinds of advice. That 100 is just too much. It's okay. I fold a good hand.
And he folds.
Show 4-5.
I would have won, sir. 8.
Now, with
I
Dave
would've
going
won.
to Hawaii
Yes, 8.
on Friday, and I think
would've
you
won.
have a prior commitment on Friday, we're going to do our big no limit game with
It was an
gentleman
eight
that did
of hearts, right? 8 of hearts.
the substituted in
5-7.
for one of you guys last week, Roger.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed to have a pretty positive response.
If it was flush draw,
Yes, I
Of course, that's
mentioned-
subject to change, but that is what the plan is right now.
I mentioned to you last
Right,
time
Ellen?
that I saw you that my best friend and mentor Steve actually knows him.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't mention that to me.
Yeah, I did at the party.
Oh, wow.
You
Yeah,
remember?
Maybe that was after
Too-
15 beers.
Yeah, too
Steve.
many beers
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
I said that the guy had called Steve, and then Steve had said, "Did you do Live at the Bike yesterday?" And I said, "No."
Oh, was that the one you said he said he was born to do that?
Yes.
So- oh, okay. I remember.
He said that he really has is witty and
Yeah.
I don't know. He had a lot of positive things to say about him. So
Well, I didn't necessarily get into it with Roger too much, or he wasn't specific, but he said that he teaches poker.
You are a lot of.
And I was trying to get a little out of him, like
Mhm.
who he's taught, but he didn't really get specific with me. But maybe I can get that out of him on Friday. But Def Comedy Jam, BET, some late night USA.
What?
Yeah, late night USA comedy shows. He was a comedian. He's a comedian. He's been on those shows
oh,
doing stand-up
I was
comedy.
wondering where you're coming from on that one.
Five players.
And here we go, 5-way action.
You can come back here. My friends
Jack
can come
10-6.
15.
back. You want to play? Honest? There's only 20 minutes left. Sit in my place. Donna, can he sit in my place?
Turn is at 10.
30.
And Lily continues to bet here with the open-ended straight draw. And Tony continues to call with the open-ended straight draw. And the river is a 6.
I don't mind if you
And
play.
Lily's king is going to play if no one bets here.
You're a better driver than me.
And king is good.
10s and 6s with a king.
Oh, that's good. I mean, you're
You're both open-ended.
I am open-ended, not her.
Yes, she was too. Jack 10, Queen, King. You had 9 Queen. She had Jack King.
I want her card. She want my card.
I'm looking on 2+2 right now, and one person's saying that I
If you made these
played a
land
limit hold'em
exactly
game
on
with me
the
last
leader,
week, and I kept raising
Exactly.
with ace.
Ace X offsuit under the gun or in second position. Or in mid position, pre-flop.
No, if it doesn't, and
That
you
is
move it
absolutely
to
false.
exactly-
Absolutely false.
This is a post
I
of
mean,
2+2 by
he's
Stern
playing, if he's playing with me
rules.
online on Absolute Poker,
Yeah.
he's absolutely correct because I play 6-handed games,
Right.
and if you're in middle position, I mean you're in position.
Right.
So I do raise with weak aces. Last week when I played Limit Hold'em, I'll only raise with ace 10 or higher, except on one hand I raised with a weak ace because I saw 3 people behind me had their hands ready to fold. Basically, I was on the button
Well, obviously
because I
16
saw they were folding.
Obviously, 6-handed is different. Got a raise there by seat 3, and Tony has called with the ace-jack, and Tony has the best hand, but Paul has got the betting lead. And Paul has moved all in, and Tony calls him. Turn is a 6, and the river's a queen, and Tony has made a straight. He had the best hand all the way, and he improved to a straight on the river. And Paul has gone broke once again. Once
Yeah,
again,
he's
he's
not
gone
having
rough.
not having the best night.
Yep.
But Stern Roots next time if
Stern
you
rules.
Stern rules.
Stern
Okay.
rules.
If you do come into the bike and that's where I played with you, remind me about it.
Uh-huh.
I don't do that. But I did do it on one hand because 3 people behind me were folding.
Dealer, you didn't even make $1.
Not even close.
Your rack was in the way. How could you do that?
The other dealer actually tried a couple times and got a couple bucks.
Button here is in seat number 7.
Call.
Couple of limpers.
Five players.
Receipt with the card?
5-way action.
Oh, I thought you said you wanted a receipt with the card. I'm like, wow.
Queen 8-8 on the flop. And
15.
Ken's playing Queen 5 offsuit. I think he's in the blind. And he bets $15. And he's going to take it down.
But you know what? Now that I'm thinking about that, I'm wondering if he's referring to Ace 10 because you would think Ace 10 raising in an early position totally like garbage play. But I do.
Not
it.
in a 6-handed game.
No, I'm talking here. I mean, I do play
Ace 10 offsuit
If I
in a
come in,
full
I'm
ring
coming.
game?
I do come in, and I come in raising. I know that.
I mean,
my
it's
strategies
not, I don't
will
think that
definitely
that's a. I mean, that's.
I do
it's
raise
not
with
as
Ace
bad
10,
as
Ace
raising
Jack.
with like Ace 4 offsuit. That's for sure. But
Anything less than Ace
I've
10
come in for
are
raise with
unplayable.
Ace Jack in early position before.
Yeah.
I mean, when those things are like borderline calls. I mean, not everything's.
Well,
so
once
cut
in a
and
while
dry.
you have to do that kind of stuff anyways. I mean, if you're sitting there playing tight,
Yeah.
really
Oh,
tight
yeah.
poker, once in a while you have to throw in one of those, I'm a donkey, look at me play kind
Absolutely.
of moves and get paid off future.
Well, Ken has bet $20 here with a Ace 5. He's got a wheel draw. Ramsey has the same hand. And Al has nothing behind him. And both players fold. Now, part of the problem, now look at my life in terms of the life of a prop. And you too, but you obviously don't do this as much as I do, propping anymore, because you do it part-time. And I'm playing propping 40 hours, a week, is that
We're going to see it later, I think.
I don't make those types of adjustments, or I don't make a raise, let's say 8-9 suited in the first couple positions when I'm propping, because I'm not in the game long enough for anybody to make a notice where I'm going to get paid off later on.
Right.
For me to hop around from game to game is pretty much all ABC. That's the way that you should play it if you get popped around. If I'm going to sit down at a place where people don't know me, like when I go to Vegas and I'll sit down for 10 hours in a 30-60 game, that's when I'm going to use those techniques. But if you're hopping from game to game, short periods of time,
Right.
it's like almost hopping into like a game online. What's the point? I mean, unless people know who you are and you're changing it up from time to time.
I believe that. Just what?
Now Ken raises here, I believe. Actually, Lily brought it in. She made it in brought it in for 40 with Ace King suited, and Ken is smooth called with pocket 10s. And we're going to see a flop.
I'm not sure about his intentions.
Queen Jack 5. And Lily's going to bet. And this is a tough spot for Ken to call here. A couple of overcards. Wow, and he calls it like it's nothing. Once again with pocket 10s. Wow. The turn is a 9. Now he's open-ended. Lily's checked, and pocket 10s checks right behind them. And the river is the deuce of clubs. And it gets checked down. 10s is going to be good here.
Yeah. It used to be up there. No, and then when they moved, it used to be up there. They took it out. See the 2 holes?
Thank you.
There used to be microphones.
So we have about 10 minutes left in the show.
There used to be.
Again, tomorrow night's game is going to be 50-100. No limit hold'em. It's a restricted buy-in game. You can buy in for $5,000 the first 2 times, $10,000 the third time, and 20,000 each subsequent time. And Yoshi Nakano has told me that the game is going to start at 4 o'clock tomorrow. So we should
By
really
the
see
time
some
we see
big
it,
action
yeah.
at 6 o'clock.
They'll already have that third buy-in for
Yeah.
10,000 and be a
We're
lot
gonna
of
see
money on the
a lot
table.
of chips tomorrow. It's going to be a very exciting game. And it's going to be entertaining because there isn't going to be necessarily the best players in the game, like I said. So King 10 against Ace Jack here. Check, check. Turns a queen. Ken's picked up the nut flush draw. And he's going to bet here.
50.
Takes it down. So anyways, getting back to the Omaha thing. I mean, from the party. Are you going to put in your journal that I beat you?
Yeah, I'm going to say Bart the ticket. No, Bart the weenie.
Like I said,
I'll put something. I'll make some kind of excuse, though. I was too drunk or something.
You had one beer. I
had a shot.
Oh, that's right. I made those nice shots from when I used to bartend at Saddle Ranch in Miyagi's out here for people who know L.A. Sweet little comp shots that we used to give out. Yeah, that's right. And Isaac was pointing out that anytime anybody misdealt, they had to take a shot. We were using these cheap bicycle cards.
And Bart sucked at that.
Oh,
Let
I'm
me tell you.
horrible at dealing.
He was dropping cards, and I think you dealt the first hand and misdealt it, right?
I am the worst dealer that you would ever see in the world. I basically played.
It was all an act. He was actually stacking the deck. That's how he beat me.
Yeah. I'm
just kidding.
I basically started playing online, a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I played in card rooms, like up in Turning Stone when I was in school at Syracuse, and that's how I learned the game. And we played home games, but we actually used to have dealers in college, so.
Really?
Yep.
You guys were that well off you could afford to hire dealers?
No, these were at fraternities in Syracuse.
Oh, so you just say, I'll buy the beer if you deal the games?
Well, it was more of that, and the kids were millionaires that were playing in the games.
Oh, okay.
Next up, Ali.
Got a raise here. A couple callers. Ace-9 suited, Ace-8 suited, and King-5. Jack-5-6. A couple of spades.
15.
Ken's bet here, 15. And Ramsey calls with bottom pair. Turns a 10. Wow, Ken's going to continue to bet.
50.
He's going to put Ramsey in a tough spot now.
It's a really tough spot, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, if Ken checked here, I would think that Ramsey would almost have to bet to represent spades there, too. Or it would be a good bet on the turn. But Ken's flipped the tables around, and he's continued to bet. And now Ramsey's going to have to fold.
So back before I started doing this professionally, when I was still, cocktailing, we used to have home games. I used to deal the home games because all the players that used to come were people that worked in the casino.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I used to make a fortune.
Oh, because, usually...
Yeah, I would end up with more. I would make like $350, $400.
Dealers are bad.
Well, they're not even just dealers. It's like floormen and...
Yeah.
So...
The other thing I forgot that I didn't realize was that when you buy cards, say a deck of cards, like in a store, supermarket, convenience store, usually those bicycle cards, boy, those things are crap compared to casino
they're really
cards.
bad.
They bend
you
so
bend them one
easily.
time and then they're tweaked.
Yeah.
They're marked.
Yeah.
15.
C5 has made it 15 here out of the big blind. King 10 off suit. And the flop comes ace 10-4. And Hugh has a weak ace, and he has the best hand right now.
Victory. Give it to her. Give it to her. Whatever she wants. Give it 30.
Give her yours.
I split with you.
You work for the company?
Raise.
Your company? Volunteer?
So Ken has bet.
All
30. And James is check raised. And he's going to take it down with the second best hand. Hugh doesn't get involved. Interesting. And this is going to be the last hand of the night. Thanks again for joining us. Hopping on the bike. Good luck to our buddy. Actually, he got knocked out. Well, Kenneth James was in a tournament over at another casino.
Yep.
Finished on the final table.
He finished 8th.
Boy, I really hope that Kenneth comes back and plays on the show. I mean, after some of the brutal beats he's taken here, you wouldn't blame the guy for being a little superstitious. My goodness.
15.
But he's got his money in with playing well, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Besides, I mean, I've seen him a couple times just messing around on here, but when he's playing the big games, he's been playing well, right?
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say that, but he's gotten his money in with the best of it several times and has lost.
Let's double him up. Just for fun.
Sometimes he plays better than other times. Ace Queen 6 here.
You're going to do that, I need to
I'm going to check to you.
On the flop.
Let's make sure we double him up.
Checked around, the turn's a 7. Ramsey's got a big draw now. Flush draw, straight draw. And he bets 30.
Help.
I'm surprised Tony didn't bet second pair on the flop. He is on the button.
Yeah, that is surprising.
Yeah.
Is he in position?
He's in position.
And now he calls. Wow, man.
Well, let's see what we can do in this case.
And the river's a jack, and Ramsey's hit one of his
He
outs.
misses his flush, but he makes it straight.
And Ramsey moves all in here. Tony folds. Ramsey takes it down, and that's going to do it for another exciting episode of Live at the Bike. You know, if you want to watch all of the recorded episodes, we have over 1,500 hours of episodes. You can click on the on-demand banner in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, and $14.95 gets you all the saved episodes. But right now, we will be back, Shirley and I, tomorrow at 6 o'clock Pacific time for our big whale game. Again, 5,100 no-limit hold'em for everyone here in the booth. And for the Poker Babe, Shirley Rosario, I'm Bart Hanson. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
Good night.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.